And you don't stop, and you won't. I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in accent sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but front for me to start something. Bugging and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party. 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 Hugs from the honeys, pounds from the roughnecks. See my man say that I knew from the projects. Said he had beef, asked me if I had my piece. Short 222s in my shoes. Holla if you need me, love, I'm in the house. Roaming strong, see what the honeys is about. Moet poppin', hope poppin', ain't no stoppin'. Big Papa, I'm a bad boy. Niggas wanna front, who got your back? Niggas wanna flex, who got the gat? It ain't hard to tell I'm the East Coast overdoser. Nigga, you scared, get the poster. Nigga, I toast you. Put fear in your heart. Fuck up the party before it even starts. Is he drunk? Off a Henny and skunk? On some brand Nubian shit, beating down pump. Bitches in the back looking righteous. In the tight dress, I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Plus in rotation, my man Big Jock got the Glock in his waist and was smoking, drinking, got the hooker thinking. If money smell bad, then this nigga big and stinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave calm. I'm hitting skins again. Rolled up another punch, bought a Heineken. Niggas start to low down, a kid got choked out, blows was thrown, and a fucking fight broke out. Can't we just all get along so I can put stickies on her chest like little Sean? Get a pissy drunk over Dom Perignon, and it's on, and I'm gone, that's that.
How's it going, everybody? How are you doing out there? Welcome to the September Roundup. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. It's going to be a little ridiculous. You might notice that there are some things that are different this time than I usually do. Let's get serious here for a minute, because I only do one of these streams a month. Every now and then I might do a second stream that I do like an interview or something, but I really only do one stream solo by myself once a month. Only one. And so I want to make sure that my experience is as enhanced as I can make it, and I want your experience to be as enhanced as I can make it. So I'm sober as a church right now. That's not going to last for long. And I'm going to have little tiny glasses because I want to have to refill as much as possible from Space Bag. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I have suspended on bungee cords, for safety, of course, a giant bag of wine. And so this way, you can know when I'm refilling and you can drink along with me. Know what I'm saying? Now, seeing as how we're getting all fancy tonight, seeing as how we're making a big production about tonight. I decided we also needed some fancy snacks, and I prepared myself a giant mound, if you will, of shrimp cocktail. And I am welcoming you on board this crazy ship of bat shittery. I'm your captain, and we'll be diving headlong into some crazy people, some wingnuts. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So. Just spotting a couple things here and there. I do use Streamlabs as well as Super Chat. Streamlabs doesn't take 30% of your money. That's all I'm going to mention anything about donations, aside from reading them either when they pop up or when it's convenient. And I appreciate all of them. Thank you very much. I also want to point out a couple things real quick before we get started. I do have a Twitch channel. Link's in the description of the page. If you don't see it, I did update it recently, and you can reload. I've begun doing my daily work routine while streaming, at least half on and half off. And for instance, this week I actually recorded with regular cameras while this camera was pointed at the studio space, the next Hemlock Moon Wolf. And actually, you know what? You guys are it's such a wonderful audience tonight. Such a wonderful audience. And I just love you so much. Let me see. Maybe you guys get a little teaser of the next Hemlock Moon Wolf. Let me pull this up. Why not? Might as well. Let me, yeah. Hang on. I gotta make sure you don't get any sound, and I'm not gonna give you any context either. But I will just, I'll give you a little peek. Let's see. I think I need to do it this way. Yeah. Let's open up left monitor. Whoop. That works. Yeah, you can see my notes. Supposed to mention play Hemlock YouTube Saints hashtag. Okay, we'll get there. All right. Here we go. It's going to be a little bit of a different type of Hemlock Moonwolf video than you're probably used to. Just thought I'd put that out there. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, you can always go and check me out on Twitch, because early in the mornings I end up doing editing streams or research streams or even doing footage streams, that sort of stuff. I think a lot of you guys are being very, very sweet and kind in the chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right. So next up, we also have the YouTube Saints, which is me and Nick, aka Wizard of Cause's show. We do one show on Wednesdays on Twitch and one show on Fridays on our YouTube channel. Links are also in the description. And also, and here's the big one. So let's get to our Roundup screen here. All right, you can see what we're gonna get started with here. But all right, we got a hashtag tonight. So as some of you may have noticed, there is David Avocado Wolf in the thumbnail. Now I do have a David Avocado Wolf video for the end, but that's only if nobody steps up to the challenge. Here's the challenge if you should choose to accept it. If you want to use this hashtag Wingnut Roundup on Twitter while the show is going on, at the end we'll try and find a really good one out of what you guys found for the craziest, weirdest David Avocado Wolf out there, like the weirdest video of his you could find. That way we're doing something a little interactive. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So with all that aside, let's all take a sip of our suspended bag of wine. Okay. Cheers to you. Cheers to me. There's nothing better than wine that comes out of a box. Let's have a little bite of our our shrimp cocktail. Heaven. I literally came up with all this like 2 hours ago. Like, that'd be cool. Yeah. I'll suspend a bag of wine. Shrimp cocktail. Yeah, why not? It's from the grocery store though, so I don't know. I might be sick tomorrow. This is a lot of shrimp. All right. So, I guess I'll catch up on these real quick because I don't want you guys to have to wait too long. This first video looks a little interesting and dense. We got Jables Bugley says, this is towards a death shot. Oh, wait, wrong show. That's true. On the YouTube Saints, if the donations get high enough, I take a shot of what it's called death shot, which is Polish grain alcohol. It's terrible. Sabrina says, good morning to you, Jeff from Melbourne. Sent you an email as I'm not on Twitter, but just want to say thank you for all that you do and send some love to you for Taco Mems and your sweet kiddo. Thank you so much. Me and Mems have been talking. We need to start recording more videos together. I don't know if it's going to be another burger and a taco one, but we'll do something. Alicia Shepard, I know that you have saved many lives. I wish I could afford more to honor a true hero. Thank you. No. I mean, I appreciate this. Very sweet of you. This is very sweet of you. But like what I do, I do feel strongly about. I do feel strongly about what I do with my channel. But you know, there's equal parts to this. Like, I can't say like, well, I'm the most selfless person on the planet because I'm doing this for this, that, or the... No. I like attention. I like attention a lot. And as far as the job goes, it pays okay. It pays all right. But also it is something that I can do that I do believe in. So, but thank you. That's very sweet of you. Lisa says it's not much, but it's well spent. Thank you very much. I'll get to some more, but I want to make sure I'm entertaining you guys and I'm not like, let's just read about money. Like, all right. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. We're going to get into some crazy stuff. There are some returning old favorites on this. I did not look up... What was the name of that? Maybe you guys can help me on this. Dr. Mumbi? Was it Dr. Mumbi, the crazy AIDS denialist lady in Africa? Maybe we'll look her up later. We'll see how it goes. We got a lot of Wingnut Roundup to go through. So this is from a channel called Destroying the Illusion, 156,000 subscribers. And he's talking about Orgonite. If you guys don't know what Orgonite is, it's based on orgone, a spiritual essence invented by Wilhelm Reich, I think in the 40s? No, the 20s or something? I don't know. But it's, yeah, it's woo. It's spiritualism. Hey, you guys probably need some sound too, huh? This is some killer music, man. Destroying the illusion.
What up, guys? Quick update here. News story for you. And this is something that shocked me, but didn't shock me at the very same time, and you'll understand why. So a couple of days ago, I was...
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt for this, but Jessica just reminded me Dr. Mumbi wants us to shove garlic up our asses. Beautiful. I forgot all about that.
Scrolling through Instagram, and I came across a particular post, a news story about censorship. Now, of course, that doesn't shock me. Censorship is everywhere, something I'm dealing with myself. But this was censorship about something called Orgonite. Okay. And again, it doesn't really shock me, but I was fairly shocked once I began reading the details of what exactly happened in this instance of Orgonite censorship. Now, I'm going to get to that piece of news, but first I want to talk about what Orgonite is and where it came from, because I know a lot of you out there probably aren't familiar with it.
I'm excited already. I'm very excited about this. Like, Destroying the Illusion already sounds like one of those crazy conspiracy channels that you're just gonna get, you know, conspiracy, Illuminatus, weather control kind of stuff. But now talking about magic, that's wonderful. Let's go.
Now, this is Orgonite. I have a lot of it, actually. This is a small piece. Here's an example. I have a few of these. And here's my most recent piece, probably my biggest one. You know, a lot of people actually just gift me Orgonite because they want to offer me some energetic protection, which this helps with. So thank you, everybody. But I have some of it. It's great stuff. Scattered around my house here, and I travel with it all the time. Keep away the bad juju, you know? So let's talk about...
Keep away the bad juju. Keep away the bad juju. The problem is that as far as I am aware, orgone pyramids or orgonite are not actually made out of a mineral called orgonite. I've been actually digging around in this for a while, and I've been having trouble finding any kind of actual chemistry definition of what orgonite is supposed to be. It looks like it's a fancy polished piece of sedimentary compressed rock layers.
About orgonite itself and where it came from. The man who developed the idea and the science behind orgonite and developed orgonite itself, his name is Wilhelm Reich. If you're not familiar with Wilhelm Reich's work, go check it out, read it, study it, learn about him, because let me tell you, the powers that be, the deep state, did not like this guy. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Wilhelm Reich was a psychologist. He was a psychoanalyst, and he began as an understudy of Freud, but he had some key differences with Freud's work, so he broke off and forged his own path. But Wilhelm Reich
means he went batshit insane. Wilhelm Reich is actually rather interesting to look into. If you have an interest in the historical blossomings of like the divergent paths between science and spiritualism, Wilhelm Reich is probably one of the best ones that you could jump into. Because we see it today. We see it today all the time. You got doctors with medical degrees who suddenly will just be like, I'm going to throw away my practice and I'm instead going to start like doing acupuncture and shit like that. Like, it happens all the time. Kelly Brogan, which I've talked about on my channel quite a bit, she is an actual psychotherapist, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Or psychiatrist, whatever. And she threw it all away just to be all woo-woo magic bullshit.
Essentially studied the mind in regards to sexual energy, how the masculine and feminine takes shape within the character structures in the psyche. And he also studied life force energy. How masculine and feminine kind of come together to create this life force energy. He called it Orgon, of course, because he...
I definitely have some life force energy inside of me, but there's an actual scientific name for it, as well as hundreds of crude ones, and it's messy.
He was studying sexual energy, orgasm, so he came to call this life force energy Orgon after that. Of course, it goes by many more names, chi, prana, etc., etc. So this life force energy, Wilhelm Reich began studying immensely, and he actually created material such as Orgon that would help to accumulate and enhance this life force energy. He would create Orgonite accumulators, they were called, basically boxes that a human being could stay in for a length of time, and it would help.
Hang on, I gotta see this one again. That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. It looks like, okay, it looks like he's got a wooden box with probably some aluminum or something, some metal shielding on the inside. Whoa, excuse me. A funnel that you'd have from your kitchen, a piece of bendy hose going into a wooden box, and I would imagine probably on the side of that box is like, this is an Orgonite machine. It does this Orgonite stuff, blah blah. Like, this is brilliant. It's incredible. Triac666 mentions Oscar Jungel did some stuff debunking Orgonite. He did. Oscar Jungel is great, and Miles Power also has been goofing off with this. See, like right here is one of his videos, and I guess his Orgone pyramid is made out of lapis lazuli. So I don't know, man.
He could stay in for a length of time, and it would help to literally heal them of various diseases. And he also, I mean, he just did a lot of work into this life force energy and how to work with it, how to use it to enhance not only somebody's body, but their mind, their whole energetic structure of being.
How?
So that being said, like I said, the deep state.
Okay, so from what I know and the things that I was looking up myself, and this is, keep in mind, I haven't refreshed my memory on Orgonite or Orgone theory in a long time, but I looked into it when I was in my early 20s, and I was actually interested in like spiritualism and mysticism and the occult, and I kind of believed in some weird wacky stuff. I did. I bought into some dumb shit for a while, and I looked into it, and it's honestly, it's just as make-believe as anything. I mean, an orgone collector, an orgone condenser, but there's no physical representation of orgone, nor has there ever been an observed effect through usage of this ephemeral substance. Like, it's just not real. Orgone not real. It's simple as that. But it is fascinating because it's one of those things that sounds good, right? Aleister Crowley famously was practicing sex magic. I think it was Jack London. Not Jack London. Was it Jack? No, Jack Parsons. John Parsons? Jack Parsons? Shit. Definitely wasn't Jack London. That was somebody else. It's sex magic. Sex magic has been around for a long ass time. This just gives it a fancy name, like, oh, when I've been having really mind-blowing orgasms during sex and feeling like I was embracing the material universe, that was just orgo. Okay. It wasn't just a screaming orgasm, you know.
He didn't like Reich, right? So they actually found a way to imprison him. They put him in a psych ward, actually, and I think he died in that psych ward. And not only that, but since he was in prison, they found a way to commandeer a lot of his stuff, take his stuff, and they literally burned his books. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, burned.
Call me crazy, but if you're seizing the personal belongings of a dude who's obsessed with extracting the juicy, sweet nectar of power from people sexually, I would burn all their possessions too. I wouldn't touch them, not even with gloves. Gross. Ew. Can you imagine? Ugh.
Wilhelm Reich's books. So that tells you right there what he was studying were some secrets that the deep state didn't want out.
Alan Parsons. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Blue Skies. Wasn't there a torture device that was a pyramid that they would sit you on and let you slowly split you open from the anus? Yeah. There was a lot of weird torture devices that were kind of like that. But I was thinking about that as well. When he showed his little pyramid, I'm like, make it a little bit bigger, and it looks like something the Spanish Inquisition would use. But yeah, we're starting off light. If this one doesn't seem as hard-hitting, just wait. I like to... The Wingnut Roundup is not a race. It's a marathon. It's all about endurance. You gotta start your pace kind of slow.
Out there. And Orgonite, the idea of Orgon, one of those secrets. So
Okay.
That's why I'm sharing it here with you. Now I'm going to talk about this little piece of censorship that I came across. So this, like I said, was an Instagram post about a woman. Apparently her name was Janelle, and she had an Etsy shop. She was selling, knickknacks, things on Etsy, accessories and whatnot.
Okay.
And her Etsy shop was called The Organized Earth, and she was selling Orgon on it for people to buy for whatever reason. Like I said, it helps with energetic protection, life force energy enhancement, et cetera, et cetera.
No, it doesn't, but okay, fine. Go ahead.
So the reason that Etsy deleted her account, they said that these items were removed. I'm going to put up a screenshot of what I'm talking about here. These items were removed in
accordance with the notice that we received from the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Wow. Really? Interesting.
Accordance with a notice that we received from the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, as well as Etsy's prohibited items policy.
I think he's confused too, because that person from Etsy's marketplace integrity team is named Janelle. I don't think he actually talked to the person that this happened to. I think he just found this on some forum or something.
Prohibits items that present an unreasonable risk of harm or that violate their basically terms of service. And they said that the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission stated that Orgon contained nuclear or radioactive material, as well as items presented with qualities associated with radioactive material. Although Etsy cannot independently determine the radioactive nature of all the minerals, stones, and other materials, blah, 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 since we received this notification from a government agency, we're taking it down.
Okay, that I will admit, that does sound a little strange. But you could probably explain it away in a lot of different ways, and like somebody was saying before, those Orgonite pyramids, apparently this, somebody looked it up for me, which thank you. I wish I could remember who it was. Where did that go? Oh, somebody oh yeah, here we go. Puffalopagus 360, mixture of resin, polyurethane, which looks about right, shiny bits of metal, and cool-looking pieces of quartz arranged in a visually pleasing way. It's prop jewelry, which, yeah, I mean, it pretty much looks like prop jewelry. Now, the idea that if you have this this prop, this make-believe magic rock, make-believe magic pyramid thing, whatever, can be instilled with the sexual energy of blah 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 blah, and then suddenly it becomes nuclear, is ridiculous, of course. But I want to see how he frames this.
So literally, whatever government agency that was said, hey, you can't have your Orgon on the store because it's radioactive. It's not radioactive at all. Total different form of energy. Trust me, if this stuff was radioactive,
Well, now hang on a second. Let's just think about this. Now, I'm happy that he's not actually going to say that Orgone has made his magic pyramid radioactive. I'm happy that he's not going to do that. That's good. Good for you. But how is it, unless he has like a rad meter, unless he's actually used an instrument to make sure that it does not in fact have any radiation, well, isn't he just blindly believing that it doesn't? I mean, is he blindly believing that it doesn't, just like he blindly believes that it's full of magical energy and protects from evil blah? Like, there's this self-awareness thing going on, and it just drives me nuts. It's absolutely frustrating.
I would have like 3 eyes. Well, I had 3 eyes, pineal gland, 4 eyes, and I'd have cancer by now. And a lot of other people.
It's not how radiation works. Radiation shreds apart your fucking DNA, man.
People would too.
So
the reason this stuff is being censored is because it works. Not only are they trying to take physical goods off the market, Orgonite, things that help people's physical bodies, but the base of the matter here is that they're trying to censor science, true science, not the fake science that they try to give us. But what they're trying to censor is the secrets, the knowledge, the esoteric knowledge they don't want coming to the masses, such as Wilhelm Reich's work. So there you go, guys. Orgonite, Wilhelm Reich.
The real science. The real science. It's amazing. I love it. So there's this goes also into something else that bothers me. Recently, I did another InfoWars video, and Mike Adams, who we'll be looking a little bit at Mike Adams. I'm not sure if the video is going to be that fun to watch, but we'll try it. But Mike Adams says this thing. He's like, at my lab, we do good science. And like, if anybody ever says they do good science, they don't. They don't. They're full of shit. They're absolutely full of shit. No. If anybody ever says that real science, and they're not literally a PhD holder in a STEM field, they're full of shit. Like, it's always, that's not the real science. It requires a certain amount of disconnection from reality, where you would completely deny thousands upon thousands of years of collected human intelligence and knowledge. And it's wild. It's fun. It's fun to watch, but it's wild, and it's dumb. But dumb is fun. And that's why we're here. Hi, baby. What is that? Really? You're interrupting my one show a month just so... I know, but you're just supposed to be like, hi, and then walk off. Memory has a thing for swell bottles. They're extremely overpriced water bottles. They're really nice. They're just overpriced. And she wanted the whole world to know that now her new cap has a clip. It's very nice. Congratulations. Would you like some shrimp cocktail? No. You sure? I want a kiss. You want a kiss? Come here. Sorry, hang on.
Have a good show, baby.
Thank you. All right, let's get back to business. Also, it's when I find these types of channels that maybe the one thing that does bother me about doing this and doing this type of YouTube is knowing that this dude has 156,000 subscribers, and he's got such wonderful classic content. Oh man, he likes to talk about QAnon, it looks like, quite a bit. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to get into some rabbit hole. We're not investigating anybody today. We're not getting in deep. We're not going down any rabbit holes. By the way, if you guys get a chance to, go subscribe to Memory Holiday's channel. Memory with an IE, not a Y. She's sweet. She just does videos about her, storytime videos about her time when she was a hitchhiker. All right, so what's next? Let's check it out. The origin of trans prostitutes. Now, this one, I think, is going to be a little bit abrasive, so we're going to have to buckle in. We're probably going to need a lot of wine for this one, and at least 3 shrimp while it's playing. It's from somebody called The Tanster. They do not have their subscriber numbers available, but it has over 1,000 likes on it. It's not a very new one. Came out about 10 months ago. But I was fascinated by this, so I wanted to watch it with you guys. So let's check this out.
All right, today we're going to look back at the origins of the transpocalypse, what this word sodomite really means,
Excellent.
and also
Excellent.
how it affects us today. Let's get started. Look at this verse here, 1 Kings 14:24. And there were also sodomites in the land, and they did according to all the abominations of the nations which the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. So the Canaanites, all those guys, the pagans, the heathens, and these people did according to not just some of the abominations, but all of them.
Now, you might be surprised to learn this guy thinks that Angelina Jolie is a transvestite or transsexual. I don't know if actually transvestite is an acceptable parlance in modern society these days. It used to be. But you meant something very different from transsexual or transgender. Like, they all three had different terms. Now everything's like, I don't know, man. But if you're offended, sorry about that.
All right, so if they did all the abominations, that means all of them, right? Including this one, cross-dressing, Deuteronomy 22:5. There's a reason this is in there, because people were doing it. It's one of the many abominations, including drinking blood and sacrificing children.
Blood is delicious. No. Cross-dressing is abomination unto God. Now, I as a general rule, I try not to talk too much about religion on my channel because it's really easy to get bogged down. And there are really wonderful people out there. A lot of them are my friends who make great content, like analyzing and tackling on the problems with certain types of faith. Whatever. It's great. But it's just not really my forte. However, every now and then, and this is gonna be one. This is gonna be fun.
And worshiping false idols in the groves and all these things, right? This is one of the abominations people were doing back then, okay? They were cross-dressing, all right? Men wearing women's clothes and women wearing men's clothes too. And if you look at this word sodomite...
I've worn lots of women's clothes. Who gives a shit? What's the big deal? Like, have you ever been a dude and you've been going through like a couple of months of summer just sweating in your fucking blue jeans or your shorts and your balls just like, ugh, and you got nothing else to wear, but your girlfriend has like a really long skirt and you put that on, you're like, wow, that just airs me out. Why don't I just lounge around the house in this? It's comfortable. It doesn't mean that magically you're now an abomination and you should go praise Satan. It means you like having your balls a little bit more aerated. You know what I'm saying?
I just took some random translations. Male cult prostitute, all right? And that's what most translations are. I'd say 80 or 90% of all the many translations use this term male cult prostitute, all right? So a little bit more specific, isn't it?
Okay.
Male prostitute associated with pagan cults. Okay, that's a good definition right there. Okay.
Of what? Of what? It's a good
Okay, and that's the point. The reason I'm looking at this is because today, all the trannies I talk about on my channel, they're male prostitutes associated with pagan cults. So if you're a male prostitute, are you going to get more customers if you're dressed like a man or if you're dressed like a woman?
Depends on who's shopping around for a prostitute. I imagine if somebody's like, I want some big hulky man with a thick ass dick to pound the shit out of me, they're gonna want to go for a dude who looks like a dude. If they are wanting a feminine person but also like some dick, then they'll go for the trans. Like, nobody's forcing this dude to bang a guy. I think that's what he's terrified about.
So we can see that trannies are associated directly with paganism as an occult type of activity.
Ave Satanus.
Okay.
Satan's not real, guys.
And then this one here, the effeminate, right? So it's not a masculine male prostitute, it's an effeminate male prostitute. All right? An effeminate. Now we're getting closer to the tranny, aren't we? And look at this one.
So this is interesting, though. Like, his basis for this, like, I guess a conspiracy of trans prostitution is going through the different translations of the Bible. And somehow, I guess, like, God programmed in, the different dialects so that he could send us the secret message about the big conspiracy? I don't know, man. Maybe.
Well, Wycliffe, all right? This one precedes King James, actually, by, 100 years or so? A couple hundred years. Okay, so the Wycliffe says, but also men of women's conditions / womanish men. All right, and that sounds a lot like a tranny to me. They're saying Illuminati tranny, all right? Pagan cult trannies. That's what they're talking about, doing the abominations of heathen men. And these people had all kinds of strange bloodlines and things like that. So let's take a closer look at this word sodomite. The Hebrew is kadesh. Sodomite, unclean, from kadesh, a sacred person. So it's a sacred...
Wait. Okay. So a sodomite is a sacred person, a male devotee to licentious idolatry. Technically a male devotee by prostitute. Oh, weird. Interesting. Okay. All right.
Pagan is kind of what it means, right?
I hope you guys enjoy this kind of stuff because I'm fascinated by this. I don't know how long, if this is like, yeah, that's pretty much how all of his videos are like, but I'm fascinated. I want to know how this ties into the Illuminati, so we're going to give this a little while.
Right? It's a unclean sodomite who's also sacred. Sacred to who? Sacred to the pagans. Technically a male devotee by prostitution. To licentious idolatry, sodomite, unclean. Okay, we're talking about Illuminati trannies here. Tranny whores of the pagan religious sect. And this one here, this is the feminine. So for female whores, it's kadesha, a female devotee, prostitute, harlot, whore. Okay. So there's a couple other verses here. Deuteronomy 23:17. All right. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
I'm going to skip ahead, and we're going to see if he gets past just trying to show us the evidence in the Bible. It looks like he does. Okay. Let's see about right here. All right. Let's go.
People in the world. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. So basically, Freemasons control society.
Obviously.
Freemasons are the same exact pagan cults that we just read about. They control government, the economy, mass media, education, science.
You know why I don't mind this at all? For the past 6 months, I've had to hear the same fucking thing, but it's always people ranting about the Jews. The Jews are running the government, the economy, the media. Why did I start using that accent? I do not know. It sounds like I'm committing a speech rap here. But the Jew controls all of these, and it's really nice and refreshing to hear that it's not actually the Jews this time, it's the Illuminati. That's good. I'm hoping that at some point true equality in the world can be achieved, and at some point it will be a grand conspiracy of octogenarian abuelas actually control the government, economy, media. When that day comes, truly our society will have evolved.
Religion, etc. You name it, man. They control it. All right? The same pagan cults with the male cult prostitutes. They practice sodomy, which according to the Bible is related to transgenderism and the occult.
Sodomy is related to butt fucking. Although technically speaking, sodomy is related to anything that's not missionary sex. Technically speaking. Depending on which definition you're using. But, I mean, let's get real.
So another word for these people could be Canaanite sodomites, right? They're essentially tranny hookers, and there is a connection to the occult and paganism to this very day. Mm-hmm. They're the same people, all right? Just like Solomon was the king of Israel, he turned to the pagan ways. The kings of today are pagan also. Right?
I really want him to say that is that the Queen of England? I think that's the Queen. I can't tell. I really want him to say that the Queen of England is an Illuminati transgender. That'd be great.
Right? They're the same group of people. It's just a continuation of the same thing. All right? And back then, you know, sometimes they would go back to God and then they'd fall away. And it was this back and forth for a very long time. And today we're just in a very long, extended period of living under pagan rulers.
Cool.
So the tranny hooker is doing some kind of sex magic. There's a specific occult reason.
I think this dude should start looking into the guy before, like that Orgonite sex magic. Yeah. Oh, actually, I want to see them get into a fist fight over which one is actually part of the Illuminati or not. Yeah.
There's a reason for them to become abominations, to become the tranny hooker, right?
Yeah.
Some kind of demonic possession, some kind of portal. So our leaders today are pagan sodomites. The
Awesome.
entire world has become Egypt, Babylon, Sodom, whatever. It's the same thing.
Cool.
So Satan controls society directly.
Wow.
These people work for Satan. They're all possessed. You know, they could very well just be demons. They're not even real people.
I have to admit something, guys. He's telling the truth, and I know this because I am Satan. That's right. I'm Lucifer made flesh, and I can confirm that I am trying to take over the world with transgendered prostitutes. That's 100% happening. 100%.
Let's take a look at some modern-day tranny hookers that trace their origins directly back to Babylon.
Oh,
And
let's.
these people are called Hydera. They come from India. And there's Shiva, dual gender form, a tranny. There's a tranny goddess right there. Tranny god. I guess you can't use the word goddess, can you? It's
The dick makes the god better.
very confusing. You know, the tranny hookers take their origins back to this demonic deity. And there's another thing there. The Hygeras, you know, they identify with the gender ambiguity. They don't define themselves by a specific sexual orientation. They're non-binary. They don't renounce sex. They renounce sexuality, sexual identity. Sexual energy is transformed into sacred powers. Oh, sounds like a demonically possessed transgendered entity.
Why? Okay. Why do you care? Why do you care? Like, okay, the thing that always drives me crazy about this, I try and analyze these types of people. I try and understand, because honestly, like, a lot of my life is trying to break down things and make it so I can understand where they're coming from, and I can at least have some sort of understanding between me and other people. It's really hard at times, especially when I think somebody's like abusing vulnerable people, abusing children through stupid pseudoscience and that sort of thing. But I try really hard. And when it comes to people like this, you know, I don't want to be bashing anybody for their beliefs and their religion. That's not my bag. That's not what I do. But I have to wonder, and I hate people who say there's only two types of people in the world. But when it comes to people like this, clearly the guy has some very bigoted ideas. I have to wonder if his conspiracy of the world being controlled by this transgendered Illuminati prostitution ring, if that was born out of his fear of transgender people, or was it the other way around? Like, that's what I try and figure out. You know what I mean? And, like, I don't know. I find things like that really interesting. And I try and, like, figure it out in some way to, like, make sense of it. And I fail all the time because people like this are nutty. Super nutty. My God. Weird stuff. Let's give him 30 more seconds and then we're going to move on.
Doing the Baphomet sign. Interesting. We've seen that sign before. And there's a modern-day Hydera singing a song called She's Not Him, which is a pansexual milestone in mainstream music. I didn't know we needed a pansexual milestone. There must be some kind of pansexual highway to put pansexual milestones on. So there's a transpocalypse agenda right here. They're just admitting it, right?
Life
That's just
is
a couple months
highway.
ago. Right?
I'm gonna pick up transgendered prostitutes all night long. Give me, yeah. Yep. Miley Cyrus, man. Miley damn Cyrus. Looks like I'm getting raided by Orgonites. Hello, everyone. How are you? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, this is the Tanster. I'm curious about a couple of things, but before we get there, let's have some fun real quick and let's look at some of these comments. Britney Spears looks naturally pregnant on the beach. A lot of these kids look like a mix of these people. Maybe they have technology we don't know about. Children of the devil, of the synagogue of Satan. Ooh, there's that Jewish connection. And the Statue of Liberty is a big one, created by a French Mason architect from the East Orient Lodge of Paris. The features of a male with a female dress straight out of the Phrygian rituals of the Temple of Ikati. I was sent to the mental health unit for 7 days for speaking out about child trafficking. A month after I was released, I received a letter telling me that I was being charged with disorderly conduct. This happened in Bismarck. What? Okay. Wow. All right. Anyway, I want to see what else kind of videos this dude makes. Should be interesting. I'm only uploading to my new... Oh, he's got a new channel now. Interesting. Transpocalypse now. What is this? Wow. Okay. Trans World Tennis, the Shoulders of Giants. You know what? I wonder if maybe this guy might be one of those transvestigation people. Because I don't remember how I came across this. I have no idea how I came across this dude. Somebody sent him to me. But this might be one of those guys who thinks that everybody is a secret transgendered person. They exist. They're real. I don't know why, but they are. Anyway, let's catch up on the Streamlabs real quick. Transgendered is an incorrect term. Apply something done to a person. The ED needs to be left off. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you know, thing is like, you got to keep in mind, I'm old. I'm 36. In internet years, that's ancient. I know in real life terms, I'm still pretty young, but there was definitely a different vocabulary that was used, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad vocabulary when I was in my 20s. This is very different than it is today. So sometimes people get like pissy at me. They're like, you use the wrong word. I'm old. You got to be patient with me. I have age. I need that hat. I need to make that hat, honey. Memory. Oh, well, she's watching this show. Memory, I need a hat that reads, please be patient, I have age. We got to make that happen. So Caitlin Combs says, nice. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Horizon says, thanks to the roundup tonight, Jeff. Gives me something to listen to while doing laundry. I'm hoping I'm keeping you company, man. Elizabeth says, Jeff Holiday, the only sober man that could think up a suspended bag of wine. And this is not a new invention. I just thought that I would do it tonight. I have a giant dome in my backyard. When we would take it to camping events, we'd set it up, and we'd have the bungee cord. It's like a 16-foot long bungee cord. And we'd all sit in a big circle, and we'd pass it around like a tetherball, getting drunk. Oh, yeah, you'd catch up on the stream. I need a hat that says, please be patient, I have age. Yeah? She likes it. She likes this idea.
Only if I get my petty hat.
You need a hat that says petty? Yeah. Yeah, you need one of those. All right. But, okay. Nicole, I'm new and literally just watched your August roundup this morning. Glad I'm here live. This is the best. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Farrah Terrell says, the Judas Cradle is the not-so-sexy pyramid. Oh. Oh, I think that's the name of the torture device with the sharpened pyramid. Athena says, here, have some Canadian government money from me. Obviously coming from the trans Illuminati agenda, because it's government, but I appreciate it. I will use it on transgender prostitutes. Dell says, just got home from being on business travel for 2 months. Thank you for being live, Senor Jeff. De nada. Jable says, I've been obsessing about cults lately, so this is a perfect way for me to spend a Saturday evening. Excellent. And TJ Does Life says, drink Cheetos and elbow meats. Indeed. Somebody says I need merch hats. Man, this is a thing, like... I'm so bad at marketing myself. I wrote a novel like years ago. Nobody knows about it because I never like try and market it. I never try and sell it. I'm just like, I have a YouTube channel. It's relatively successful. And I have merch, but I never link it, and I'm bad at selling myself. I'm good at this. Bad at all that stuff. I don't have a brain for it. I don't have a brain for marketing. Anyway, let's get back into it. So for those who are just recently getting in, if you're confused about some of the things that are going on in the stream, we have a fag of wine on a bungee cord. We've got some shrimp cocktail, and we've got the hashtag Wingnut Roundup, which is you can submit while we're live. You can submit using that hashtag on Twitter your best entry into a crazy David Avocado Wolfe video. And if we get some good ones, maybe we'll watch them at the end. But we got a ways to go, guys. The marathon is just amping up. Sell it on it. Anyway, I gotta stop getting distracted by chat. Let's get. Oh. Hello. That wasn't supposed to happen. Let's get back to normal size. That's fine. Let's go. Next up. Oh, look who it is. Now, as a general rule, I only ever address Jillian in specific videos. But I saw that she made a video that was under 40 minutes. This one's only 6 minutes. It says stem cells are not the answer. So why not? Let's watch a Jillian video. I mean, everybody loves Jillian. You know, I love Jillian. Jillian has done wonderful things for me. So let's spend a little bit of time with her. You don't look happy today, Jill.
And by the way,
oh,
given that we now are addressing that death should never ever occur, stem cells are not the answer. Because you, as a human, can regenerate your own cells. And
not really. Okay. But, fuck it. Go ahead. Keep going.
Program your cells. So whether or not you grow your own stem cells has no bearing on whether or not that really is good for you. Because if you're growing your own stem cells to then go and put them somewhere else in your body, you're still taking your body's programming and putting them somewhere else. But that's not the point. They are now taking other people's stem cells.
Sometimes the way Jillian talks is kind of like how when I was a kid, my dad would get lost trying to find a shortcut on the highway. And which you can imagine when I was doing A Song of Salt and Poo, like how long it took me to get through so much of the material that I went through. I probably watched hundreds of hours worth of Jillian's material. She's very prolific in making videos.
Or else. But that's not the point. They are now taking...
No, I missed it. Okay. She said something fascinating here. I wanted to make sure I understood it.
Your body, you're still taking your body's programming and putting them somewhere else.
With stem cells, you're taking program from your body and putting it somewhere. What if it's somebody else's stem cells? What if it's... And she still seems caught on this idea that you can regenerate basically anything, which is impossible. Absolutely impossible. Our body's really good. Actually, the human body is exceptionally well at healing from disastrous injuries, way more than most animals. Especially when you mix in like our science and our technology, it gets even better and better and better. We have an amazing ability to survive because of that. But we still can't regrow bone. That's not a thing. It's never happened.
But that's not the point. They are now taking other people's stem cells, from whether it's babies to humans to whatever, and putting that person's programming, those stem cells, which is another person's programming, into your body.
Do you understand what a stem cell is, Jillian? Do you understand why stem cells are called stem cells? Why stem cells are so different than other cells? Because they don't have a job. They're cells that don't have the full gamut of programming that the genetic code otherwise would be encoding them for. That's why they're undifferentiated cells. Like you could have a stem cell can turn itself into a muscle cell or a skin cell or a cell for the organs in the body. Like that's why they're so great. That's why they're so powerful. That's literally the point. A stem cell cannot have programming if it's a stem cell because it's an undifferentiated.
That is not good. That's no different than a freaking organ transplant that you have to keep your body immunocompromised so you don't purge out somebody else's DNA.
That's not how that works either. That's why we do tissue matching and fuck it.
Stem cells are being sold as like basic. They're being sold as a panacea for like, you know, helping somebody get through their, you know, was it leukemia or lung cancer? I had a friend that I thought was on my protocol that was behind me, and she is like advocating stem cells because it saved one of their friends who's a Nobel Peace Prize winner from, you know, imminent death from lung cancer.
Wait a minute. Okay, we're gonna have to watch that a couple more times. Let's back up. Let's hear that again. So we you and me, we know exactly what she just said.
And that I thought was on my protocol that was behind me, and she is like advocating stem cells because it saved one of their friends who's a Nobel Peace Prize winner from, you know, imminent death from lung cancer. And I'm like, guess.
Time for wine. All right. So, let's think about this for a minute. There was a friend of Jillian's. There was a friend of Jillian's who went behind her back and was talking about stem cells as if this is like she's talking about it like somebody went and fucked her man behind her back, you know, like I was out trying to sell my juice and I came home and you were on his dick. Or I was out trying to sell my juice and I came back and you were saying that stem cells were good. Like, what? Jillian, what? What do you even mean? What does this even talk? Okay, and then she's derisively saying that she she's not down with it. But the person's excuse was because it helped save a Nobel Prize winner from lung cancer. And that's a problem. Okay. Let's continue.
Guess what? This person really needs to be drinking my juice and regenerating their own stem cells.
If that person with lung cancer drank your juice instead of using the utilized, accepted therapy, they'd be dead. You would have killed a Nobel Prize winner, and she's mad that she didn't. Jillian, what the fuck? Yeah, I gotta confess something too, guys. We're watching this because I need a little bit of moral support because I am actually working on A Song of Salt and Poo episode 5. But I got so burnt out on watching some of these, I was like, I have to get some backup. I need to watch this with other people. So, you know, I figure, you know, I might as well watch it with a few friends. You know, the 480 of my close buddies. You know, might as well do that. It's a much better idea. Oh my God, Jillian. Oh, I love you. I love her. I do.
In their own areas without having to go and reposition them or relocate the stem cells. No, you should be making your own cells.
Oh.
But now you're taking on somebody else's DNA. Like, seriously, taking on somebody else's DNA and putting it somewhere in your body? I mean, that...
Let me tell you something. When I was 27, I finally stopped having monogamous relationships, like nothing but long-term monogamous relationships. I had one girlfriend, lasted 5 years. Broke up with her, had another girlfriend, lasted like 3 years, etc. And it went on and on and on like that until I was 27. And then when I was 27, I was like, you know what? This hasn't been working for me. I'm going to actually go and I'm going to be a single dude for the first time really in my life and just go have fun. Let me tell you, I got all sorts of DNA all over me. All over me. I was fine. They'll be fine. It's okay. I know that's not what you mean.
Now is what they're doing. Like they're resurrecting people with somebody else's stem cells. And then, you know, I remember I was watching these ghost shows on, on TV and everything. And there had this one thing about like past lives, and this kid allegedly had some past life, dreams and having nightmares. And I think you guys seen it on my Facebook. They were talking about this, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, you're taking on somebody else's energy. If you're taking on an organ transplant.
Are you trying to tell me that people who are experiencing past lives are doing so because they got an organ transplant or got stem cells? Is that what we're... I mean, I think that's already been a few different horror books and horror novels and whatnot. But I mean, like, I don't think I've heard of one of those happening in the past few, like a decade, maybe. It's about time somebody like picks up that idea for another movie. That'd be good. That'd be cool. But what?
Okay. Or any type of transplant. Or somebody else's blood. You're taking on their energy, all of their memories, all of their programming, the DNA, all the stuff that they've ever had in their life, and you're putting it into your body.
Uh-huh.
So whether it's, blood transfusions, to stem cells, to organ transplants, to any type of bone marrow transplant, all these transplants have taken somebody else's DNA, and even having sex. When you're having lots of sex with lots of different people, you're taking on all of their energy, all of their programming, all of their mutations, and you're taking that in you.
So what's the problem?
So we really need to be taking my recipe, understanding the regenerative qualities.
Okay, hang on. I'm trying to, okay. I'm sorry, that word salad happens to me a lot anytime I'm watching Jillian. It just happens. Okay, so and my brain kind of skips, and then it just kind of turns off for a minute. Hey, what's up, Aiden? How you doing, buddy? So okay, let me try and wrap my head around this. So obviously she has a problem where she's saying that blood transfusions, bone marrow transfusions, organ replacement, stem cells, this is bad, and it's getting foreign DNA into your body, and maybe that's why you remember past lives, because you're having a weird, this is so dumb, so a psychosomatic thing between like the organ and your mind, and you're envisioning this, and what you really need is the juice, because you have to get your DNA into your body. And sex is bad, or at least having too much sex is bad, because you're getting all of this extra DNA into your own body. And I'm just like, I'm remembering specific points where there was people in her old Facebook group, and I never put this in any of the videos, but I figure I should tell you guys about this now. There was at least 3 women in her Facebook group that had a thread where they were talking about douching their vaginas with jelly juice. And I just, this whole thing is like becoming this weird, what a gem.
And we need to start growing our own cells, regenerating our own cells, not taking on somebody else's DNA.
Okay.
And so, yeah, science is now becoming like one huge gross experiment.
Uh-huh.
When they're taking like a pig embryo or a human embryo and adding pig or human DNA to it to then create some kind of like hybrid.
What?
Well,
I mean, I've seen the mock-up pictures that people have been talking about. They've been talking about like pig-human hybrids for years. But oh, Jillian, is there any wackadoo idea you don't believe?
That's what they're doing. And that pig or human, this life is going to be coming coming into the world as a half a pig in a miserable life.
Do you weep for the half pig men? Oh God. Oh man. You're so compassionate, Jillian. Who will think of the pigmen?
If it was a human embryo to begin with, then ply them with my juice, and they can start regrowing.
Yes.
They can start generating to the design of what they were before they had the pig DNA being infused into the egg or the sperm or wherever they're putting it. And if it was a pig to begin with human attributes, human DNA, then vice versa.
That's right. I mean, if we, I know science created this pig man in a lab, but Jillian wants to save them, and she wants to infuse them with her juice, so that she can revert them to their normal state. It reminds me of that one episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where they had the anti-ooze, and they wanted to hit the turtles with it to turn them back into regular turtles. It's just like that. You are a saint.
And this is where science has gone completely freaking insane. Resurrecting the dead and creating hybrids. Oh, but wait, we need to go. We need to go and activist against the vaccines because of the mercury. Do you know there's mercury in the air? There's mercury in your food supply. There's mercury in all of your different pills, powder, supplements. What else?
Thank you. That's nice to hear. Okay.
Cleansers, everything. There's mercury everywhere.
Yeah.
There's heavy metals everywhere. You
Yeah.
know, in these industrial areas, you're breathing in all of these extra heavy metals. Allegedly, if it's true, the chemtrails have mercury and barium and things.
Hang on.
That we're breathing in. You're getting your mercury all over the place. It's not just what's in the vaccines, okay? It's the actual DNA, the bacteria that is mutating people, but nobody wants to address that. But they sound so great being a doctor and being anti-vax. No, you're just playing within the freaking system.
Okay.
So stem cells are not the answer. Obviously, vaccines are not the answer, not because of the thimerosal or the mercury. It's because of the DNA, somebody else's DNA that's being put into your body.
See, somebody was like, so she's not totally anti-vax. There you go. She is. She's anti-vax, but for an even dumber reason than most anti-vaxxers. So, and that's a feat. It is really hard to out-dumb an anti-vaxxer. Really hard. It's not an easy feat. But Jillian's our hero.
The bacteria that's causing mutations and also future triggers. So, yeah, stem cells are not the answer either.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye. I love this woman. I love her so much. She's such a gem. She makes me so happy. It's so I really do feel that way. I really do feel that way. Jillian, stop hurting people. That's the thing. You got to stop hurting people. But I do love Jillian because I have such a deep relationship with her now at this point. It's wild. Someday I'm gonna make Song Salt and Poo episode 5 soon. Probably next month. Probably some point next month. I'm just kind of like getting everything together right now, and it'll be epic. I actually need to get a hold of a musician because I have a great idea for it too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But I hope at some point after that, sometime in the future, me and Jillian can actually collab. I want to find a way that she and I can come back together and we can communicate in a way that we never really got a good chance to on Dr. Phil. Or we can have a good conversation. I think that would be fun. I think it'd be great. Be awesome. Hey, how you doing? Hope you guys are liking that Aphex Twin sound effect that I put in there for you. Get a little spicy today. You know what I'm saying? All right. The Lily Cat. Hey, Jeff. Been on the channel about a little over a month. I'm very pro-science and anti-bullshiz. Keep an eye out for some personal art for me in your P.O. box. Thank you. Hey. You know what? I absolutely love art. And I love art that people make and send to me. It doesn't even have to have anything to do with me at all. It could just, like, something that you made, and you're like, I want you to have this. I want it. I have a bunch put up here on the wall. I have some put up in the living room. Like, I love it. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. I'll never go and buy art anywhere, but like I had this weird tendency for a while, a few years back. I lived in this weird artsy neighborhood, and for some reason there was these people who would just make these beautiful paintings, and then they'd walk outside and they'd just put it on the side of the road and just leave it there. They're like, whatever, fuck it. I don't want it. I made it. I'm done. And I'd find them all the time, and I'm like, I've got more street art. Yeah, it was great. I love that kind of stuff. I'm a very artsy dude, despite appearances and my terrible fashion sense. Just saying. Mythological. Love you, Jeff. You're doing great work. Oh, thank you. P.S. What should I order for dinner tonight? Well, if you're a meat eater, I am personally, when I am in fall, I like hot wings, but if I'm not going to have hot wings, I also like chicken. So I'd say something chickeny. Maybe, especially because we're getting into fall, if you want to get the fall vibe, something maybe like a chicken and rice kind of thing. If you like maybe some ethnic food, go for a chicken curry. That would be my suggestion. If you're a vegetarian, a salad? I don't know. I've been a kind of vegetarian. Like, at one point in my life, I just ate meat only on the weekends. I was really skinny then, too. Maybe I should do that again. I'm kind of fat now. Yeah. Thick. Anyway, Dane Berryman says, I'm eating a banana. Dude, good. Bananas are amazingly good for you. Jay Caesar says, and people say vaccines cause autism. Yeah, they don't. But I think I get what you're trying to say. I get it. Sabrina says, my family tree wins the dumb anti-vaxxer award, apparently. They have microchips in them, and me vaccinating my child means giving the government permission to track her. What? Okay. Have you guys ever run into this? And this is just a little quick segue before we keep moving on. Have you guys ever run into... And maybe they're not around as much anymore, but when the technology for microchipping your animal first really became mainstream years and years ago, there was this huge push of conspiracy-minded people saying that the government was going to use your dog and your cat to, like, track your whereabouts, you know? And I always thought it was really fascinating because, you know, you'd have people talking about this, and they listened to too much well, it wasn't Alex Jones back then, it was Art Bell. Right? Art Bell, Coast to Coast AM, that kind of stuff. And they'd be like, yeah, you know, they're going to try and track where I'm going so I don't have any privacy anymore. And I'm like, you're a tax lawyer. Why in the hell does the government give a shit about where you're going? Well, you went and walked your dog in the park last night? Oh! Like, why would they care? Why would they care? Why would anybody care? I don't get it. Kiriana... Hey, Jeff, found your channel while surfing around. Benjamin Eater Vids knew the world had weird as fuck people, but not this weird. Gomez. Well, let me tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet. The Roundup, it's just starting to heat up. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get a little crazy up in here. About to get a little nutty. I don't even remember what's next. Oh, yeah, okay. I hope I got a pretty good theme for the first little bit. We had a guy who was talking about the Illuminati trying to shut down Orgone. Then you got a guy saying that the Illuminati was trying to control the world through a transgender prostitute agenda. And now Jillian is talking about transhumanistic pigmen and stem cells reprogramming you and giving you ghost experiences. Yeah. But next, we're going to go completely out of left field. Now, this one's slightly political, but it's mostly pseudoscience. And I did not actually vet this one ahead of time. So if it sucks, we'll call this like a little bit of an intermission. We're going to try it out. Now, this here is this is a repost on somebody else's channel, but this is from Mike Adams from naturalnews.com. Mike Adams is also known as the Health Ranger. He once rapped about how GMOs are bad. That's a thing. But he also has this nasty tendency, and it's not just him. It's him and a couple of others of the anti-vax, anti-GMO cults. They like to prey on black communities, especially low-income black communities. And it's kind of like it's like a prop for them. They use poor black people as a prop. But I want to hear his conspiracy theory about the government utilizing poor blacks.
Have you ever noticed that every mass poisoning in America, it seems, just happens to take place in black communities? I mean,
No.
think about this. Flint, Michigan, right? Detroit, basically.
Sure.
Lead in the water supply. Not a small amount, a massive amount, a potentially fatal amount of lead if consumed over time. Highly toxic, highly damaging to the development of the human brain. It was deliberately put into the water supply. There was a massive cover-up.
I see.
Carried out by white people, by the way. And it targeted specific...
Whoa! Whoa! Hang on. Wow. All right. It just... let's not even beat around the bush here, okay? Like, let's just get serious. Let's get serious about this. This is done by white people. Now, not a conversation I really give a shit about getting involved in, but, man, you just went ahead and did that. Okay.
Specifically, the black community of Flint, Michigan, which is predominantly black. And this is just one of many such cases.
I know I don't usually want to interrupt what we're doing in the middle of a video, but that one super chat is perfect. David Kamer, because the stream is about 20 seconds. You guys see things about 20 seconds after it happens to me. And he just put, in before Flint water crisis was a conspiracy. Dude, you nailed it, David. You nailed it, man.
In the past, there was also this poisoning in the Washington, D.C. water supply. Well, who lives in Washington, D.C.? I'm talking about the residents there, not the bureaucrats who commute in but then go home in some other rich community. The people living in D.C. are black folks, predominantly, and that's where the poisoning took place. Think about the vaccine autism link cover-up, which was admitted by the CDC scientist known as Dr. William Thompson. He confessed to it. We've carried it on our website,
Oh, shit. What's up, Anthony Fantana? How you doing, buddy?
naturalnews.com. You can read his confession. He says that he and other scientists at the CDC covered up statistical evidence, scientific evidence, showing a link between vaccines and autism in who? Young African-American boys.
That's right. One of the things that drives me crazy about this kind of thing, too, and it's not... I'm trying to remember, while I've been listening to this, I'm trying to remember what the other guy was that went around to poor black churches, like, inner city churches, rec centers, that sort of thing. I know the Vax team has done that before in the past, but Mike Adams is a huge offender of this kind of thing. The thing is, and it's probably the thing that's the most disgusting about it, is he's not saying this because he's actually trying to fight any type of injustice. That's not what this is about. What this is about is he's banking on the idea that if he appeals to this persecution complex, which, don't get me wrong, man, like there are several instances where you can say that there is actually a systemic problem of discrimination in the country. I think it's very specific areas, but they're real. But you then have a guy like this who is obviously banking on trying to utilize this to convert people over to his wackadoo conspiracy cult. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely hideous. I find the whole thing abominable.
Not white boys, African-American boys. So we got the water poisoning in Flint. We got the water poisoning in Washington, D.C. we got the vaccines all targeting black communities.
Well, the whole idea of like okay, the Flint water crisis happens, and it just so happens that it happened in a poor neighborhood, in a poor black neighborhood. Well, yeah, no, it actually makes perfectly logical sense that it would happen there. For one, they have a crumbling infrastructure because it's a poor city. It's a very poor city. When the Reformation happened, most black families did not have the ability to go and move into a nice part of town. That wasn't a fucking thing. There was not an established set of parameters for these people to be able to build themselves up with a really badass life. You know, to get a kid to go to an Ivy League school was a mountain that was impossibly tall for them to fucking climb. Let alone even just getting into like a state college, you know, whatever. So improving your life past the bounds of your means is understandable, and what goes inside that is the more poor areas and more poor cities are going to have the more poor infrastructure, the more poor ability to maintain clean water as well as clean anything else. It makes sense, but this is like they're doing it on purpose. Now, what I want to hear is Mike explain why. That's what I want to hear. But I have a feeling he's just going to beat around the bush for a while.
And that's not all. Look at the cancer industry in places like Detroit. And we've covered this extensively on Natural News. The cancer industry, it is a racket they have predatory business practices that target black men and black women because they know that those people will have more aggressive cancers because of their skin color, which blocks ultraviolet light from the sun, which generates vitamin D. So the black communities tend to be vitamin D deficient. And as a result, they are more lucrative to the cancer industry.
Okay. Wait. Is Mike Adams trying to make an association between this is going to lead them to be more susceptible to getting cancer, and then thus this is a conspiracy put forward by the anti-cancer pharmaceutical industry is long game poisoning black people so that they can make money off of poor black? How do you make money off of poor people? I mean, they can still get treated through government programs, but they're not the... Why would you target poor people if you're trying to get money? How does that make sense to you? How does any of this make any goddamn sense? That doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? If you're a grifter and you're the kind of guy who's out there and you're trying to prey upon people who actually have money, you target people who have money. If you're trying to get money from people, they have to have money. So then why would you target black, disaffected people who happen to be extremely poor? Why would you do that? For kicks? For the gigs? For giggles? That's why? Am I missing something? Like, because I don't understand how I'm missing this functional connection between these, you know? No? I don't, This dude's I'm gonna lose my cool on this one. I'm trying not to. Let's see if it goes any more interesting.
And so these predominantly white-owned cancer organizations, for-profit businesses, they set up shop in low-income black communities. Then they offer free screening so they can falsely diagnose black people with cancer so they can make a fortune treating them with chemotherapy that they don't even need.
How are they going to afford it? I mean, there's much easier ways to scam the government out of money. You're not getting any money out of the poor black people. They don't have any money. What the
And in Detroit, working inside the Karmanos cancer...
Targeting people, poor people made Jim Baker rich. You know what? You're right. You're totally right. But there's a difference between what Jim Baker does and the idea of them having to pay for chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is a lot more expensive than Jim Baker's bucket of emergency food. There's a big difference there. There's a big difference in how much money you're gonna get out of people per cell. Like, just saying.
Center, or the Karmanos Crichton Cancer Center is what it was called, was Dr. Farid Fatah. And he would recruit black people and he would tell them they had to have chemotherapy, and then he would order them to be compliant, that they had to do the chemo with him, sometimes for years, while he kept billing Medicare and Medicaid insurance companies. He was raking in a fortune with a false diagnosis, committing absolute criminal fraud, preying upon the suffering and pain of black folks, while he was pocketing millions of dollars and making the whole cancer industry rich because they were selling, the chemotherapy chemicals to him that he was marking up.
Memory looks pissed. Memory looks really pissed. Here she comes. Oh. Apparently Memory really needs some wine after listening to this Mike Adams clip. And there she goes. I don't blame you. Isn't this obnoxious? This is so shit.
Mike Adams.
Come here.
The worst piece of shit.
Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel.
Mike Adams is a piece of shit.
Into that.
Mike Adams is a piece of shit.
Yes, he is. He absolutely is. An intolerable piece of shit. Yes, smack it. Slap it. Slap my bag.
I love you.
Yeah.
After hearing that, like, they're giving you fake cancer results so they can give you chemo you don't need.
Yeah.
I needed some fucking space bag.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I feel you. I hear you. I'm with you. I'm with you on it. Okay. So like, let's just look forward a little bit. This whole video, 17 minutes of now what we're trying to talk about right here. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna switch over for a second. And we're going to watch his anti-GMO rap. But here's what I want to hear from you guys. While we're watching a little bit of his GMO rap, do you want to hear more about this video? This is rage-inducing. So if you guys are down for the rage, I'll take this journey with you. I'm totally down. But if you're like, let's move on, we'll move on. So 1, we're going to stick with this a little bit longer after we listen to a little bit of the GMO rap. 2, we're going to move on. Fuck this video. We're going to just keep going on something else. So vote now. Let's let's enjoy the magic of this piece of shit.
And they found that the genes that were inserted into soybeans transferred to the DNA of the bacteria
Hey, paging Fantano. This is gonna be the next fire track.
living inside us, and certain varieties of genetically modified corn are engineered to produce an insecticide. Living inside us, an insecticide.
I'm looking at the food that's in the grocery store. They say it's safe, everybody eat more. On second thought, I don't really know if it's made with those GMOs. So I'm looking for the non-GMO label.
I need a second. A lot of 1s, a lot of 2s. I'm seeing kind of split towards it. So I think we'll do a little bit. We'll do a little bit after we enjoy this a little bit longer. Let's get this fire. Let's get this fire, yo.
Before I bring it home, I put it on a table. I wanna know if it's verified, so I don't harm myself with genetically modified. They don't want you to know. Poison they grow. Profits they show. From those GMOs. Seeds that they sow. Gonna hurt us, we know.
Eminem, you are not.
Told him to go. Say GMO, no. Hey, look. I don't want to eat poison. I don't want gene mutations at my dinner reservations. It's a food abomination. What they're doing to this fast food nation.
I love this. I love some of the visuals they have in this music video. I've seen this video probably 100 times because it's always very relevant, you know. And I don't make as many videos these days about GMOs, but I still talk about them a lot. And this ends up always coming up.
They take artificial gene combinations, inject them in seed variations so they can grow their frankenfood imitations while the side effects cause medical patients. Keep the profits alive while they're spraying all the food with name brand herbicides, and all the while they're spreading their lies. Monsanto destroy a farmer's lives, and the FDA.
All right, so I have a task for all of you lovely people. Any of you out there who are Drunken Peasants fans? Any of you out there who are Drunken Peasants fans, You gotta find this. It's called "Just Say No to GMO" music video, natural news, non-GMO. You gotta try and get them to make Billy the Fridge watch this rap video. I think, no, I never made him watch this one. I made him watch a different. It was an organic rap that was incredibly bad and actually pretty kind of racist. I don't think it was intentionally racist, but like it was pretty bad. And that's on my best of organic rap video that I put out like 3 years ago or some shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. This is a re-up. If you guys are confused, like this is a re-upload from the video that he posted to Natural News. I don't know where the original was. But anyway, let's take a minute. Let's breathe. Okay, let's breathe. I don't need any more space back because my wine is rather full, so we're all right for that. I'm pretty full on shrimp at the moment, but you're salty steamboat captain here. Just wanted to take a minute to breathe. Before we watch a little bit more of that race baiting Mike Adams video. I'm just gonna chill for a second, just a couple minutes. Let's see. We got David Kamer says, in before Flint water crisis was a conspiracy, which you nailed it. Absolutely. Fantano says, I'm about to OD on the Jilly juice. Tell you what, man. I know you're into the vegetable living, and I'm actually trying to get better about eating vegetables myself as well. I want to get healthier because I'm fat. I'm a fatty. I'm getting into the fattiness, and I don't want to be. But don't jelly juice, bro. Don't jelly juice. Don't do it, man. Breadmaster PBJ, maybe it's just a convoluted plot to get black people to stop going to hospitals to genocide them through preventable disease. Maybe Mike Adams is the one who's trying to convince. Maybe. Ooh, I wish I had. You know what? There's so often when I do these streams, I want to have effects, and I should probably program them in. Like, you know that classic GIF of Julia Roberts and she's confused and all the math starts floating in front. I need to figure out a way to make that as like a transparent WebM or something so that I can, like, at the hit of a button while I'm streaming, suddenly like math goes across and I can be like, huh. I also need to get one for Illuminati because we always end up talking about the Illuminati, and I need something exciting to happen on the screen. Ave Satanus, that kind of shit, you know. Maybe I'll work on that. I am actually working right now, and I was working on it today on an intro for the Roundup. It'll be ready next month. Rise Cromwell, love all you guys. Thanks for the vids. P.S. You and Memory are couple goals. I'm okay, but Mems is really the rock star of the relationship. That's the truth of it. I love Jeff Holiday signed me. Oh, that's an interesting name. Name says it all. Signed me. Oh, you love me, signed you. Oh, I love you too. Thank you very much. David Kamer, he put a lot of effort into a video with 6 views. Yeah, no, the Natural News has had some ups and downs. Like, people get freaked out about InfoWars getting censored. Natural News has been getting like fucked up for years. He's been having trouble keeping that website running for a long time, and his YouTube channels. So anyway, let's get back to it. I'm feeling refreshed. How about you? Are you feeling refreshed? Because I'm feeling fantastic. I feel wonderful. Let's jump back into it. I know very much so that this is inflammatory, and it's a little bit more political than I'm comfortable doing these days on the channel, but it's so conspiracy ridden. Let's do it.
Up and selling to the black patients and billing the government. Mm-hmm. These people didn't even have cancer. And Dr. Fattah eventually...
This is a good video to start getting some wine into you, by the way. Just putting that out there.
...was arrested. There was a whistleblower inside the hospital who blew the whistle. And he was arrested, prosecuted, and sentenced to 45 years in prison.
Wow.
But if not for this whistleblower, he would have been continuing that practice to this day.
You know, I've never heard of this case, but actually, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm going to save this video, and I'm actually going to look into it. I want to find out about this dude.
And so that's just another example, but let me wrap it up for you. Again, water poisoning with lead, black communities. Vaccines and autism, predominantly black kids at risk. Not only black kids, but there's a higher risk with black kids. Washington, D.C., water poisoning, black community. Cancer industry, predatory targeting of black women and black men because that's who they know are the most profitable.
How?
So let me be blunt here.
How? No, wait, you know what? I think you've been blunt enough. But how is that the most profitable? Like, if we're talking about the most profitable, why aren't we looking at, like, why aren't you investigating Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, who's trying to sell people a magical healing $25,000 solid gold dildo? Like, that's money. That's money. That's some money right there. You're not going to get any money from some poor family riddled with fucking cancer. And what you're going to get is stealing from the fucking government, and then the government's going to be looking at you, unless the government's in on it, and the government's like, well, we're just going to steal from ourselves. For what? By the way, Goop actually does sell, like, I think it's $25,000, a solid gold dildo. You know, if you're into that, just saying.
You probably know, my name's Mike Adams. I'm the health ranger. I run the science lab here. I'm a scientist. I'm a food investigative.
You're a scientist. You're a scientist like I'm sober. Okay? You're a scientist like I'm a wholesome human being. You're a scientist.
Researcher. I'm an investigative journalist. I've won 3 journals.
You're a piece of shit. I'm getting, guys, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad. I'm getting amped up.
Journalism awards for investigative journalism. I'm a whistleblower. I'm an author. I wrote the book Food Forensics. What else?
You're an asshole.
I run naturalnews.com. I have seen that there is a genocidal overlay to the medical system as it is operated today.
Genocidal. Now, far be it for me to want to actually show my own stuff on my own channel, but I'm going to. The last InfoWars video that I did, and I'm probably not going to be talking about InfoWars again for a long time. I'm kind of burnt out on the topic, to be honest with you. I kicked them while they were down, and I enjoyed doing it every minute. There were some people who got really mad at me, and I don't care. I kicked them while they were on the ground, and it was fun. But there's a point where this guy says that there's a genocide against white Christian men. This is real. I made this video like this month. And you can go back and you can watch it. This guy, out of this stupid fucking mouth, saying that there was a genocide against white Christian men. Now, previous to that, whenever the fuck this stupid ass video came out, there's an overall genocide on the whole world by the biochemical pharmaceutical industry, but it's specifically targeting in this one incident because I want people to pay attention to me, specifically poor black people. Fuck you. Oh my.
It's not just the medical system, but really the entire public health system is probably a better term. There is a racist, genocidal targeting of black people, and it's more insidious than I think you can imagine. It's not just that they want to make money off the suffering and pain of black people in the cancer industry, for example. It's also, if you look at this water poisoning, where they knew about it and they covered it up. Look, I'm an expert in heavy metals. This is what I do in this lab. I test for heavy metals, okay?
I love Judas Priest.
Lead causes mental retardation. It is one of the most well-known, well-documented side effects of lead exposure or lead consumption.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence that this poisoning in the Flint, Michigan water was literally dumbing down kids in the black community, and that these white people knew it was happening and allowed it to happen and kept it happening and covered it up and refused to warn the public. And they were trying to get away with it for another decade.
I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. Nope. Nope. Oh, I'm gonna pick my thick ass up, and I just need to step away for a second. Okay. Let's Daddy needs some medicine. Yes. This thickness. Okay. No. All right. No. I'm done. Executive decision. We're done with this video. Fuck you, Mike Adams. You are such a piece of shit. I do have a thick booty for a white guy. You think I'm white. All my black genes are in my butt. That's not true at all. It's my never mind. Let's fucking take a minute again. Wow. You know, that was actually the wild card video too that I chose when I was I have this terrible organization system for my work and like the things that I do, and when I'm when I've got a specific a specific project of mine that I'm going to be making, and it's going to be very in-depth, and I have to have lots of sources, lots of research materials, I will take one of my 4 different browsers and I'll start filling up tabs and tabs and tabs full of stuff. But the main browser that I use is usually things that I need to just save for later. And at the end of a month, I have all these tabs and I have no idea what the hell they're supposed to be about. So this one just randomly was in there. And I was like, I don't really know if this is going to be good to watch on the Roundup. But my God, did this end up being quite a wingnut video. I'm rather impressed. Man. Holy shit. I am not a transgender black woman. I'm a proud, openly black woman who don't need no man. I'm not opposed to anything either. The wine is starting to hit me, so, you know, things are going to get a little goofy from here. All right. Kachuk says his claims about Dr. Fatah or whatever are mostly true. Oh, his claims about Dr. Fatah or whatever are mostly true. Didn't target black people though. Okay. Yeah, no, I wanna look into this this Dr. Fatah in the future, because that might be interesting. I've been wanting to, for the sake of transparency, because I make a lot of these videos where I'm just debunking things where people were wrong, or things where people are grossly misrepresenting things and abusing science. But there are actual very real examples of people who were in science and using mainstream science and did bad things. Bad things. And for the sake of you know, being fair, I think that at some point it would be important for me to make a video where I point some of these things out. Like, science is not perfect, and the people who use and develop our understanding of scientific principles and our understanding of the material world, they sometimes can be bad people, and bad things can happen because of that. And I think that that would be the least I could do. So at some point I'll make that video. I have so many videos I have to make. I have so my whiteboard is covered in shit. It's totally full of ideas. There's all sorts of crazy stuff that I got to do. So many ideas. What's next? Oh, okay. This is a good palate cleanser, and it's very quick. It's very quick, and it's very simple. So let's check this out. So this guy, I found this guy the other day. He is Andres Taraldson. He does not speak English. I think he writes English, but none of his videos are in English. But this is We Live Inside the Earth, Concave Earth. Now, this guy is interesting. So if you guys remember, Hemlock Moon Wolfe, who I do editing for, made a video about the Lord Stephen Christ. Lord Stephen Christ is a guy who believes that he is the reincarnation of God and Jesus at the same time. And he has kind of a little weird cult following. He also has made death threats against Presidents Obama and now Trump as well. And he's currently in a mental institution because of these. His concave Earth theory has a lot more people who believe it than people who think that he's God. So this is a guy who previously thought that the Lord Stephen Christ was God, but recently recanted and was like, guys, that was dumb, and I was dumb for thinking that. But the Earth is still concave. So I found this quick little 1 minute and 13-second video. I thought we should just watch it. I want to see what he says.
Vi bor inni jorda.
Nope. Is there any sound? Maybe my shit's all fucked up.
Før du skjønner det, så vet du ingenting. Og når du skjønner det, hvis du noen gang skjønner det.
Okay, I want to read this out for you while it's playing. Hang on.
Vi bor inni jorda.
We live inside the earth.
Før du skjønner det, så
until
vet
you
du
understand that,
ingenting.
you know nothing.
Og når du skjønner det, hvis du noen gang skjønner
And when you understand it, if you ever
så
do,
åpner alt seg.
everything opens up.
Hvis du ikke skjønner alvoret i
If
det
you don't
forteller
grasp
jeg
the
nå,
importance of what
så
I
er
am
du
now
en
telling
idiot.
you, then you are an idiot, period. So I gotta ask you guys, if you don't understand what he just said, then apparently you're an idiot. Does that make sense? Because I don't understand what he just said. And I'm not nearly drunk enough that I should be having trouble with communication. Like, I just...
What if one day you wake up and everything was a dream? Everything you had fought for, everything you had succeeded in, everything you'd accomplished had never even happened. Every drop of tear had been pointless. Would you just sit there and let memories drift into oblivion?
Is that all he says? What? Really? Okay. All right. Let's go to this guy's channel real quick. I'm curious about this. No. So 3 months ago, this is when he posted this thing. It was an apology for believing the Lord Stephen Christ. It's a public apology to all the people I've hurt, disrespected, and verbally attacked while being a follower of Stephen Joseph Christopher, aka Lord Stephen Christ, for the past 3 years. I realize that I've been acting like an idiot on more than a few occasions, and there's really no excuse for some of the things I have said and written. I am happy to say that I am no longer associated with Stephen Joseph Christopher in any way, and am deeply sorry for my respectless behavior while being one of his crazy minions. Stephen thinks he is the Messiah, but he is most definitely not. He is a delusional, narcissistic egomaniac. His extensive concave Earth model is nothing short of amazing. But besides that, Stephen is as crazy as they come. Stephen has, for the past couple of months, both privately and publicly threatened to kill me on several occasions, and also many others, including earlier followers, the mothers of his own children, and also Donald Trump. It seems spending 3 years in federal prison for threatening Barack Obama was not enough for him. Thankfully, he's now been detained by the United States Secret Service. Yes! Oh my God. Wonderful. I'm very excited. So this guy is he's a convert. But some of his videos are interesting. And a lot of them like the Lord Stephen Christ stuff don't really make sense. Like none of the concave earth stuff makes sense. But I am happy to be able to report that the flat earthers, the hollow earthers, and the concave earthers are actually currently at war. And this is true. This is absolutely true. These people, they have what is kind of like, what was it in West Side Story? Was it the Sharks versus the Jets style, like knife fights, figuratively, on the internet over the Earth is flat. Actually, no, the Earth is an egg. Actually, no, fuck you, the Earth is a bowl. And they fucking poke at it. It's great. It's wonderful to watch. It's so good. George Bush takes a dive for the concave Earth.
There are a few killers
who
want to stop the peace process that we have started, and we must not let them. For the sake of humanity, for the sake of the Palestinians who suffer, for the sake of the Israelis who are under attack, we must stop the terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
I forgot about that. Holy shit. Post 9/11, like this impassioned, like, we're gonna get these terrorist killers, and then it golfs. Yeah. Which, I mean, Golf's fun.
Oh, no!
Don't get my fucking channel music copyright struck. Is there anything actually in this? There's nothing in it. What is it these people are making these videos that have no actual content? What is with this? I don't understand. Like, I first realized that this is kind of like how the Lord Stephen Christ actually made most of his videos, is that it's always this mishmash of nothingness. Like, they're trying to make really cool music videos to, like, appeal to the hip young kids and the new generation with their jazz music and their Pokemans and their Pogs. But it's always so cringy. None of it actually makes any sense. None of them understand meme culture. If they understood meme culture, could you imagine the effect that some of these weird cult leaders would have if they understood memes? That would be disastrous. Thank God they're so fucking out of touch. All right, so Gabby G Wiz says support trans female black creators. Yas queen. Yeah, dude, you got any trans black female YouTube creators? You send them my way. I like black women. The dick just makes it better. Now I'm getting drunk and I'm gonna start putting my foot in my mouth. Dane Berryman says I'm so woke I need some lead to bring me down, dude. I feel you. I absolutely feel you. We need some endocrine disrupting shit up in here. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. You guys ready to get a little old school? Go back to one of our old favorites? You guys ready? For this next video, we're going to go all the way back. We're going to go to the isolated, tiny, remote, otherwise mostly unknown city of Boston. We're going to go to Richie from Boston. That's right. Our good dear friend Richie from Boston with 256,000 subscribers. This is a great video. The audio engineering on his intro is just fucking.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston today.
Hey, what's up, Richie from Boston? Shit, I think I need to turn you up, Richie from Boston, because you're a little quiet there, bro. Let's see if I can, shit. Son of a bitch. Yeah, let me turn this up. On your devices? Yeah, fuck it. We'll do this.
The 24th of September 2018, and once again, I am showing you video footage of spirit cooking. Now, when this stuff came out, it was pretty shocking to most people, but we talked about this for a long time. This is what these people are into. This is what they do.
Video footage of spirit cooking. If you guys don't know what spirit cooking is, it's amazing. It's incredible. Like, here, just watch for a minute.
The fact that they cover it up and just call it art, no big deal. It's art.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that right there is just very telling. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely unbelievable the amount of celebrities, politicians, and people in positions of power. It's amazing how many of these people are into witchcraft.
Right. Absolutely. So, fucking spirit cooking is such a weird, convoluted conspiracy. It really honestly is. I'm trying to remember what exactly it was, like the genesis for where spirit cooking came from. But if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of a faux pas of people misunderstanding, I think was like a trendy aspect to a dinner party, and it got so blown out of proportion by everybody latching onto it as like this crazy satanic spell casting fucking ritual. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. And at this point, like, the term spirit cooking, I don't think means anything remotely close to what it was originally coined as. I would be shocked to find that it was even remotely similar at this point.
in black magic, so forth and so on. You've seen it, you've
So
heard
forth
it,
and
blah,
so
blah,
on.
blah, but it's coming out more and more. For
Right.
instance, I found this on the Vigilant Citizen this morning. Everybody knows that Beyonce and Jay-Z, these people push the Illuminati's agenda on people, whether they understand it or not. Most people
Obviously.
do. It's not even a secret. It's not hidden very well whatsoever at all. These people are puppets for the Illuminati.
Ah, look at that shit. Illuminatus Satanus. That's right.
And Jay-Z in particular loves showing off Aleister Crowley quotes and phrases on t-shirts and some of his gear that he sells. Rockaware, Rockefeller. I mean, they don't even hide it.
Rockaware, Rockefeller. Get it? You know what? Like, okay, so there's two types of Richie from Boston videos. And, like, so I know probably a lot of you guys who watch the Wingnut Roundup, maybe your majority of your experience that you have with Richie from Boston is just me watching them and goofing off and doing what we're doing right now. But if you really sit down and you watch a lot of Richie videos, which I have, because this is my job, you start realizing that there's two types of Richie videos. There's the Richie from Boston videos that he's in the car and he's still talking about a lot of weird, crazy stuff. But then when he gets into, like, he's sitting at home and he's making these types of videos, he starts to sound like Jurassic Liars. I don't know, like, maybe some of you guys know who Jurassic Liars is. He's probably the most banned creator on YouTube. I think he's been banned like over 40 times at this point. He's a guy who goes through like a supermarket and finds like every little thing that he can think of that like is an example of how the Jews are trying to like ruin everything and are like using their satanic subliminal implementation to like make you gay or make you like hate God, like all sorts of weird stuff. So you have to understand when you're getting into a Richie from Boston video, if he's in the car, that's sedate Richie. But if he's doing no face cam, this is crazy Richie. This is when Richie doesn't have anything to occupy his time with, and he starts getting really fucking loony.
But when you see stories like this, it should bring home the message that these people, that so many kids are growing up worshiping, idolizing, these people are into black magic, and they have been for a long time.
Of course.
According to this article, a former drummer is alleging that Beyonce did all sorts of stuff, killing her cat.
Beyonce killed her cat for Satan.
Casting magic spells, sexual molestation, gang stalking, so forth, so on, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, when it goes to court, what happens? Totally dismissed.
Wait. Did that actually go to did that actually go to court? Hang on. Beyonce accused of extreme witchcraft by ex-drummer. This is from the Vigilant Citizen. Vigilant Citizen. I'm not going to assume that the Vigilant Citizen is really high reputable reporting. You guys want me to pull up a Jurassic video? Oh God. Oh no. Let me think about it.
Same thing happened right here. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
We've seen the articles, and I mean, you can just tell by looking at Hillary that this woman's into witchcraft. I mean, look at her husband. He looks like he's been sucked dry of his soul. You see what I'm saying?
He looks old. That's what an old man looks like. Like, I don't know. Like, have you guys ever... Okay. So, have you guys ever gone and looked at... There's like a popular image trope that goes around every now and then, every few years, where they show like presidents when they get into office and then when they leave office, and they look like, even though it's been 8 years, they look like they've aged like 20 years. Because shockingly, being leader of the free world is a really stressful fucking job. Who knew? But yeah, he just looks old, dude. Come on.
And the amount of mysterious, coincidental murders that have happened around these two people is no secret either. But just nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. We currently have a person in office right now that promised numerous times that when he was elected, he would literally have Hillary put in prison. So they select him. He goes up there, and the first thing he says is how great Hillary and Bill are and how much they've done for this country. Not to mention the fact
somebody was asking if there's any Jurassic videos left. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, they're all over. They're all over YouTube. They're incredible. People mirror him because they love him. They think he's just such a wingnut. He's like what was the name of that guy who was talking about the CIA and they glow in the dark? Like that dude. He just died recently. He's a lot like that guy. People want to mirror that stuff.
He's completely surrounded himself with Zionists. Zionism is people that put Israel before anything else. So this guy is surrounded by Zionists, and he himself is one. It's not really too hard to figure out.
Okay.
A lot of people want to deny this. A lot of people want to think that Trump's doing things and helping the country and blah, blah, blah. Trump was put in place for a reason. Why in the world would somebody that's a billionaire at 71 years of age want to become the president so that he can open himself up to ridicule the mainstream media, so forth and so on?
Because he wants power. How does that make any sense? Richie, come on, dude. You're losing me on this, man. You're losing me. It's not even, you're, I don't know, it's slipping.
On. You know what I'm saying? For a job that to him is pocket change. Because it's his, this is the price you have to pay. When you are one of the people that sell your soul, at some point they're going to tap you on the shoulder and tell you that they need you. Well, Trump's in office for a reason. So when you see stories like this, don't dismiss them. There's a reason that this comes out very slowly. There's a reason that it all gets dismissed, and there's a reason why it's not on the cover of the news every day, because they...
Richie, we're supposed to be talking about Beyonce casting witchcraft, not talking about...
They own the news, and that's just all there is to it.
He's losing me. He's losing me. You're losing me, buddy.
Right here. This is just a small list, but these people have literally shaped society. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knew about this girl, you know, killing chickens, so forth and so on. Hall and Oates, remember them? I don't know who this lady is, but whatever. I don't know who this lady is either.
What?
I know who this dude is. The one-eyed fella that, I mean, back in the day hung out with the Rat Pack. It was very, very unusual for a black man to even be around, but...
Obviously a Satanist. That's actually really funny. There's a whole long rabbit hole if you look into Sammy Davis Jr. and Satanism. It's fascinating. It's honestly really fascinating.
When you sell your soul,
hey.
Kate Bush.
I have a terrible thing that I have to confess to you, Richie. You don't have a soul. Nobody really has a soul. You have a there's a concept that you can denote that there is something individualistic and unique about each individual person, and if you want to call that the soul, cool, I'm into it. I'm absolutely into it. That's fine. If you even want to attach a metaphysical aspect to it and you want to believe that there is some sort of ethereal component to your personality and your lived real experiences, I'm fine with that, man. That's cool. I go on, like I have no problem with that. But when you start talking about this as a sort of currency in which you're going to be bartering against some primeval fucking ancient enemy to God sort of thing. And really, you gotta start. And here's the thing that you don't. Nobody ever really actually talks about. Nobody really talks about this. Is like, let's say, for the sake of argument, that there is a standard currency rate for a human soul. The human soul is a thing, and it's actually an ethereal, quantitative concept. It's something that we can actually say has a value, and that we can observe is a thing. It's real. It's maybe it's not material, but it is definable. Yeah. Does that mean that every single soul is worth the same? Does that mean that every single soul has the same amount of value? In which case, would there be a competitive market based upon the human soul. And how would you gauge that market? What would make a soul more or less valuable? Would it be the fame or the notoriety of the soul? Because I got to be honest with you, if all that was actually the truth, nobody's going to notice that you have a famous soul. Nobody's going to care because you're dead. And we don't see that. You can't have some demon being like, I got Bob Dylan's soul. Like, nobody cares. So, like, is there actually like a good barter system? And if so, what exactly does Satan get out of the deal? Like, I don't understand this stuff. I've been trying to figure this out for years, ever since I was a little kid and I actually believed in God. I was a Lutheran for a long time. I kept trying to figure out, like, what exactly would the devil get out of possessing a soul? Can he buy fruit with it? Can he rent a DVD with it? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Nothing about it makes any sense to me. Maybe it's because it's this like broad, random, esoteric, metaphysical thing that I, as a linear mortal, cannot understand. Maybe. But these are things that I think about, and it just doesn't make any sense. I'm done with Richie. But as a palate cleanser, somebody wanted to see if we had any Jurassic liars. There is actually the classic supermarket video.
Buddy, it's the uneducation of a nation, and I'm here to.
And we're only gonna watch just a little bit of this. I don't want to dwell on Jurassic liars because he's a lunatic.
Uneducate you. That's right. I want to take the Jew out of the education, folks. I'm at the supermarket. Let's see what they got here. First of all, you got Orville Redenbacher. That's right. You got the evil in Orville. Pieces of garbage, you. And you got the red, and you got the den in Redenbacher. It's unbelievable. Oh, no, not the poppycock. You pieces of shit, you. Not the poppycock.
Not the
pieces of
poppycock.
Garbage, you. You believe this? And you got the word he in cashew. You pieces of shit, you. It's unbelievable. Look,
You gotta love Jurassic liars. This dude is a fucking. He's such a gem. He's such a gem.
folks, popsicle as the PP.
What's interesting though is like what he's been doing lately. I think he actually got Jurassic Liars 26 unbanned somehow. This is one of his channels, but his last video, like, this is the kind of stuff he does now. It's really strange.
Hey everybody, it's the uneducation of a nation, and I'm here to uneducate you. That's right, I want to take the Jew out of the education, folks. Listen, have you ever heard the saying?
Sorry about that. I know that was loud there for a minute. I'm sorry about that.
Less is more, or more is less. Let's find out who this less person is. So this is the letters less right here, okay?
Yes.
You know, just mixed around the letter EL. So the word less right here is LSS, okay? And you know,
why did you switch the E and the L so it would work? That doesn't seem right.
Who uses the SS, right? It was the Germans, you know, with the Hitler crap stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let's find out who the SS is in a minute. But look, LSS, this is the numbers that it equals, these letters. And if you notice, this first column is the same as Satan. Okay? 55, 10, 65, okay? And you don't know.
I know it was really loud. I really apologize, guys. Like this dude screams into his microphone these days. But like none of this is so bizarre.
Who this is right now, but I'll let you know in a different video. But the 79 has to do with God and Jesus, okay? So I'll and you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know the 79 is in the hidden number of God. You know what I mean?
Nobody like I don't think that anybody actually buys this. Well, actually, let's look at the comments, actually. So, Peace to All says, you said Satan is the SS. Now I'm reminded of Gilligan's Island. Wasn't the ship called the SS Minnow? I wonder what the real meaning of minnow is. Okay. Some people say the phrase, God bless, is Satan telling you to be less than what our Father in heaven made you to be. That makes sense, since you said Satan equals L, God, and less. Oh man. Okay, I guess there are people who really buy into this shit. Holy shit. My shrimp. I feel bad. I've been neglecting my shrimp. My beautiful shrimp cocktail here. I've been getting, I feel like I've been getting the shit beat out of me by these videos. And I'm supposed to be enjoying myself, drinking my suspended bag of wine and eating my shrimp cocktail and hanging out with a few hundred of my friends. But I keep having a terrible time because of people talking about the transgender Illuminati conspiracy and the Jews and poisoning black people. What is wrong with our world, man? What is... All right. Switch over here for a second. Look at that bag swing. You ever see a bag swing like that? Not since my weird uncle. Never mind. I'm not talking about that. So, we've got... Oh, yes. Okay. I've got something for you. Now, last thing I'm going to say... Wake up. Shit. I spoiled it. I totally forgot that was going to blast like that. So to let you guys know, actually, let's go over to this. Just to let you guys know. Wingnut Roundup. Hashtag Wingnut Roundup. If you have a really, really good David Avocado Wolfe video, tweet it at me using that that hashtag. I'll take a look at it. Maybe we'll use that at the very end. That's like the idea. Jeff, answer our questions. Okay. Actually, yeah. Okay. I guess I should probably look at these Streamlabs. Jabel says, "Oh, I forgot to say that the reason I have been studying cults and cult leaders is because I'm thinking about starting one. And I do understand meme culture. Also, my cult will allow us to get tax-free booze." Really? Okay. Well, tell me more. I'm interested. David Kamer, people believe in religion. It is far-fetched. They do spirit cooking and believe something weird about it. Is it far-fetched they do spirit cooking and believe something weird about it? No, not really. I mean, okay. The thing is... This is really what it comes down to. Believing in religion is fine on a fundamental level. Having faith in something, having a feeling that you are larger than something is fine. I see it as an analogous concept between what you perceive as a relationship with your faith or your belief system. And it's very analogous to the reality, which is you are part of a larger macrocosm, which is the human race, or maybe even simply like a nation state. And that kind of a relationship where you feel like you are an integral part, and it gives you a sense of values, it gives you a sense of moral code to live by, can be a net good. Now, the problem is that when you embrace something blindly, like faith requires you to do, that's like literally the meaning of what faith is. Faith means belief without evidence, effectively. It also can open you up to believing things that are objectively not true. Like we always fall into the same conflict constantly, where you're like, well, scientists can't disprove God. Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's true. I can't disprove God. I could sit here all day, every day, for the rest of my life, trying to make live streams and hammer out every argument about this, that, and the other. I will never be able to disprove the existence of a God, because it's a perfect argument. You can't disprove something, but you also cannot objectively show that it is real either. That in and of itself is not a bad argument. It's a fine argument. It doesn't actually necessarily need to mean anything. The problem is that when people take that same blind faith and they apply it into something that does have a real life cost or a real life effect, and that's really where I end up starting to conflict between myself and religion, myself and faith. Like when people say, like, it's against my religion to get vaccinated. Well, can you show me in your holy book where God says you're not supposed to get poked by a needle? Can you do that? And if you can't do that, then I reject your argument that your God tells me that you should prevent kids from getting measles and suffering unduly. So that's like, I'm gonna get off my high horse. Let's get back to the roundup. You know what I'm saying though? Like I'm fine with people having faith. I don't care if people have faith. It's not that big of a deal to me. It's fine. I don't care. It's just when they use the blind adherence to something and it ends up hurting somebody, and there's no evidence that they ever needed to actually do that, and it hurts me. It hurts me in my feeling parts, you know, and it makes me mad. Let's look at Dr. Mumbi. Let's spice up our lives a little bit with a little bit of Dr. Mumbi. She's very prolific, so I have faith. I've got faith that we'll find something great that she did in the past month. Hidden hand in Cameroon violence. Zambian student killed in China, operating in superpower. The spell on black people. The spell on black people. We might have a winner. Let's hold on to that one. What's wrong with Africans? Not touching that one. Africa, we have a problem. China, Chinese takeover. Probably not going to touch that one either. Let's see. I just want to make sure that we're consolidating this within a month. Divide and conquer. Rebuilding global Africa. Prophetic warning to African leaders. Okay. All right. You know what? Where did that go? The spell on black people, Africa 101. Let's watch this one. This sounds great. You led me on my high horse. Man, I hate when I get distracted and I start like proselytizing. Let's just have fun. Let's just have fun. Let's not get weird.
Wake up, Africa. Woo! Your time has come. Open up your eyes and see the sun. Open up your spirit. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Wake up, Africa.
Wake up, Africa.
Hey guys.
Wake up, Africa. Let's do it. Dr. Mumbi here with some knowledge.
Welcome to another episode of Africa 101 on the Dr. Mumbi Show. This is a show where we look at all the things African, you know, the misconceptions. It's like a refresher course. Some of the things we've never thought about, or some of the things we've known but kind of take for granted or have forgotten. A lot of the lies, the fake truths that have been told about Africa, and a lot of things that keep us in mental, psychological, emotional, and physical bondage.
I'll tell you what, if she tells us to stick garlic up our assholes again, I'm going to be really upset.
Today I want to talk about the power of names and the power of naming. And you know, in the Bible, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And a lot of people say, what word? You know, what language was God speaking when he created the universe? But
the word was YOLO.
Those are stories for other days, for real. But you know what this shows us, the underlying thing that this shows us, is that language has power. What comes from our mouths has power. And when we take this a step further to look at the names and the labels that we place on ourselves and that others have placed on ourselves, we should recognize that there is power to that. There is power to your individual name. There is power to our collective name. And in fact, that's why the very first thing that the colonizers...
Can I just point this out? Like her she's got this blackboard back there, and I'm kind of listening to what she's saying, but it's like, I don't know. It's just like it's a buzzing sound. I can't really pay attention, but it says like black versus white, evil, bad, wicked, angry, pure, clean, innocent, angelic. I sense a loaded video, guys. Somebody saying it's super loud? Okay, hang on.
Did. Let me talk specifically about Kenya. When the British came and colonized Kenya, the very first thing they did was they renamed our rivers, they renamed our mountains, they renamed our lakes, and they even renamed, you know, our people. where did Bantu come from? Have you ever thought about that? I'll definitely be doing a show on that. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. But what I really wanted to get to today is back to the very basics of some of the labels that have been put on us as a people and that describe us collectively. You know, the English language is often described as a language of spells, you know, as the...
By who? Who the fuck describes the English language as a language of spells? What? Okay, hang on. I just I need to do this real quick. This is important. Like that hang on, shit. Okay. Hang on. I got this. Where is it? Yeah, okay. All right, hang on. And her face right now is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Straight up. This is wonderful. This is you know what? This is that moment, that magic moment that you never really thought you needed. And it's right here. It's right now. It's right in front of you. This is what you need. You need this woman at this moment in your life right now explaining to you how English is a language of spells. With that expression, this is this moment. Enjoy this moment with me.
Witch's language, if I could say that. Don't catch feelings. But when you think about it, they even call it, you know, spell this, spell that, spelling. You know, it's all about casting, you know, all these concussions. And we had to really take some things, seriously. So when, you know, when we're given a label by our colonizer, the typical thing that Africans have done, not just on the continent, but across the world, is we kind of embody that, you know, we embody that name and we try and make light of it. You know, we try and take ownership of it in a way, you know, in our minds is to neutralize it. So
give me an example, Dr. Mumbi. Give me an example.
Let me give you an example of the word nigger versus nigger.
Thanks for the demonetization, Dr. Mumbi.
And how, you know, we took a word that was used to call us, you know, chattel slaves, to a derogatory term that was used by the colonizer against us. And we took it and we now use it in music videos. We use it in, although, you know, a lot of the musicians are Illuminati vibes. But anyway, they're puppets. But those are stories for other days.
Illuminatus,
Satanus. To kind of classify us, to name us in a way of trying to neutralize the power and the effect from the colonizer. But one thing we must be aware of as we're decolonizing our mind is also to let go of these negative...
Decolonizing your mind. Oh. I need more wine. That's what I need. I need more wine.
Labels. The biggest label that has been put on us as a people is black versus white. You know, how we as a black, you know, as an African people, as a melanated people, have been given this label of black, the black man, the black women, the black nation. And, you know, I'm guilty of using that as well a lot. And where, you know, the Caucasian man has called himself the white man. This has been specifically and intelligently done. It didn't come out of the air. He didn't just do this because, you know, he thought it was cute or to try and come as close to our color. It was...
I have nothing to say.
Not done by accident, and so we should not be accidental in using it. We'll be right back.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Pull out my damn
Welcome back
headphone.
to Africa 101 on the Dr. Mumbi Show, where I'm breaking down the power.
Okay, so I've been curious about this for a while, and I really I'm glad that you guys noticed exactly how immediate I responded to that very specific incendiary statement that she made. But I've been trying to figure this out for a while, and maybe somebody out there, some helpful person can help me out with this. Where is this actually seen? Is Dr. Mumbi Saraki, is her show on an actual television station in Africa? I have yet to find it myself. If somebody can find out for me, I would really appreciate it, because I love this woman. She's incredible, and she never fails to say something so mind-blowingly bad that I'm charmed out of my skin.
Power of names and the power of labels. Now, for so long, we've been referred to as the black man. And what does this word black mean? And these are just some of the...
It's a color. I mean, I know, like the color of Dr. Mumbi's skin here is definitely not black, like as a color black. I mean, she's obviously a shade of brown. She actually has very nice skin. But it's just like it's a descriptive. What the fuck? I don't know.
Meanings that it has, evil, bad, dirty, wicked, angry. And if I look at my list here, I was actually shocked at some of the other things that this word black means, because as an adjective, okay, it's used as a noun to describe the African nation, but what about as an adjective? As an adjective, It means hopeless. It also means mean. It means filthy.
By whose dictionary? What are you talking about? What is this? What?
Clean, stained, unilluminated, unenlightened. Guys, this is what they called us. This is what they labeled us. And this is what we've been calling ourselves for hundreds of years. And when we think, what's our power? This is totally sick and crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna take a minute here real quick, and forgive me, guys. This is only a momentary distraction, but there's a gentleman who has been desperate to try and get my attention. Now, I'm not gonna give his name because honestly, I don't want him to get any press from my giving him attention. But I'm going to address you directly. It just came into my chat. Try to get a hold of me on Twitter. Fuck off, Mike. Go fuck yourself. I'm not giving you any attention. Go away. Okay? Bye-bye. Let's get back to Dr. Mumbi, yeah?
And, when we look at the meaning of white, I mean the wickedness of these people is totally sickening. Apparently, when you look at the adjective of the word white, it means pure, clean, innocent, angelic. As in they're even making themselves heavenly beings. And when you go deeper into, the Webster dictionary or what.
I don't okay, this is getting a little political for me that I don't really want to get into or anything, but this is just so strange. This is very strange. I want to know where Dr. Mumbi... Okay, Dr. Mumbi apparently had a breakfast radio show in Kenya. That's what Sabrina's telling me. Interesting. Okay. That's wild. That's actually really wild. Let's see. And... Okay, we're good. So anyway, just had to check on something real fast. Don't mind me. So we're going to take a minute. We're going to breathe. We're going to let all that wash off us. This is the Roundup. This is it's a marathon. It's a marathon of the craziest things that we can actually find on the internet so far. Now, I was looking for some submissions for crazy David Avocado Wolfe videos. And as it turns out, not really too many submissions. But I do have a video of his, and it's the most recent one that I could find of what he's doing. Now, for those who are not aware, David Avocado Wolfe is very well known as being one of the most obnoxious and pervasive faces on Facebook. Your aunt likes to spam a bunch of enlightened, inspirational memes that he makes. You know, there are people out there who talk about, you know, the spirit of the food, and there will be a picture of David Avocado Wolfe with his permanent cascading over his shoulders while he talks about the sacredness of our food. It's all dog shit. It's all meaningless. But what really is David Avocado Wolfe up to these days? Well, I can answer that question. I went and I looked around to try and figure out what he's actually doing. What he's actually doing, and this is actually kind of fucking sad. What he's doing these days is he's selling chocolate. Yeah, he's selling chocolate. Sacred Chocolate, the YouTube channel, 880 subscribers there. And keep in mind, I'm not shitting on David Avocado Wolfe as in he's not relevant. Like, he still has a massive Facebook presence. Massive. Huge Facebook presence. But what it seems like he's actually got his intention into these days is he's trying to sell chocolate. So let's watch this video. And let's watch how much this motherfucker is withered. Holy shit. You're going to be surprised. Watch this.
Well, resveratrol is one of those natural ingredients that suffers from very poor absorption.
He looks like Gollum. He looks like fucking Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. What the fuck happened to David Avocado Wolfe? My precious. Yes.
Bioavailability, like a lot of the different ingredients that have benefit in the test tube or the laboratory, but may not be absorbed and get to the tissues and the cells in the body. But with this formulation, we're able to overcome those issues. And some of you may know that one of the key features of resveratrol is its ability to stimulate a particular gene in the body that's associated with longevity called the
That's bullshit. So the title of this video is "The Science Behind Sacred Chocolate's Reverse Heart Bar" with David Avocado Wolfe and Dr. Eric Kurtz. Now, okay, for fun, let's do this live. Let's do this live, because I'm actually feeling rather confident about this. And actually, we don't need our hashtag anymore. That's done. So let's go to a new window, and let's pop in Dr. Eric Kurtz. Dr. Eric Kurtz, I want to know who this dude actually is. We've got David Avocado Wolfe trying to spam him out. We've got a LinkedIn Global Life Sciences. Doesn't sound about right. Super Nutrient Genetically, in which I interviewed Dr. Kurtz. And then he's got a Facebook page. Okay. Patents by inventor Dr. Kurtz. Water-soluble phytocannabinoid formulations. Okay, that has to do with marijuana. Cannabinoids, fatty acids. Okay. I want to know... Is it the same dude? Let's look at this guy, this old dude. I don't think so. I don't think that's the same guy. So the thing that makes me take pause and wonder about this is, why is this guy named Doctor? Now, usually I would take a minute and I would like dive in deep as much as I could, but I have a theory, and maybe you guys can help me out with it if anybody out there is like feeling very compelled. I have a theory that Dr. Eric Kurtz here, I bet he's a chiropractor. I will fucking bet you he's a goddamn chiropractor.
There's one in the SIRT2 gene. So it's probably the only thing that's really been found within natural products that can actually cause an increase in activity of those SIRT1 genes. And again, that's why there's a lot of potential for longevity surrounding that particular ingredient.
The epigenetic power of resveratrol reminds me.
Like, you know what the fuck epigenetic even fucking means, you frizzy-haired fucking Gollum-looking bastard. What the okay. Let's hear him out. Sorry.
Me a lot also of xanthohumol, which is in the longevity bliss bar that we have here at Sacred Chocolate. Where do these rank out of all compounds? Because there's so many different chemicals and compounds in our food, in our herbs. There's so many different things that are being talked about. Where do you rank resveratrol and maybe even also xanthohumol amongst?
Okay. This also is a very common tactic when you have somebody who is a woo peddler and they're trying to like sell you on some bullshit. They're trying to sell you on some idea that they know what they're talking about, and they'll find like some loosely kind of understood chemical name. I've even found people who will use the long form name for a sugar molecule to try and hide that they're talking about sugar. They're like, I'm saying it in this way, and that's why it sounds so fascinating. But it's sugar. It's just sugar. It's just fucking sugar. Shut the fuck up.
It's everything.
Well, I would rank resveratrol in at the top, maybe 5 or 6 ingredients. Again, mainly because of all the research that's been...
Ingredients of what? Ingredients of... Ingredients of what? To do what? What's the point?
Conducted in...
I'm losing the plot, guys. I'm losing the plot.
Over the years by major, not only government-funded research, but also major pharmaceutical companies, because everybody has an interest.
Wait. So Biotech Babe says, look up his urine vaccine therapy video. Who? Are you talking about David Avocado Wolfe? Or are you talking about Eric Kurtz? If you're talking about Eric Kurtz, we might like in general, like Biotech Babe, I swear to God. Okay, you know what? Biotech Babe, if you know if what you're talking about is like readily available, if you have the link to that video, I need you to DM it to me on Twitter right now, and I mean this right now. I want to see a urine vaccine therapy video. I want to see it, so you send that to me immediately.
And trying to prolong a lifespan, and there's not a single person that you can really ask, would you be interested if you could take something that may have the potential to do that? Well, I would rank resveratrol up there among the top 5. However, it has a relatively short half-life. Again, it lasts in the body for maybe a couple of hours, but by putting it into the delivery system that we have it in here, and in this sacred
it's in wait. Okay, delivery system. Like, keep in mind, the delivery system that he's talking about is a bar of chocolate. It's just a bar of fucking chocolate. So David Avocado Wolfe at this point has switched from his pedantic selling of stupid wingnut shit, and is now trying to sell chocolate as like a healing medium, like it is a delivery system for medicine, effectively.
Among the top 5, however...
I want to hear what he says right here. This is important.
It has a relatively short half-life. Again, it lasts in the body for maybe a couple of hours, but by putting it into the delivery system that we have it in here, and in this sacred chocolate vehicle, which turns out to be...
Sacred chocolate vehicle. Inside this sacred... Inside this sacred chocolate vehicle. Okay.
Be the best delivery system, really, the best food-based delivery system for these kinds of ingredients, which have very poor absorption. So it doesn't matter how much you take as a supplement in a pill form that you might buy at a health food store. You may only be absorbing less than 1% of that powder that you're taking in the pill.
I wanted to ask you about this, Eric, because what comes to mind for me is when I think of resveratrol, I think of wine, and it's alcohol as a...
Hey, wine! So I, way back, it's story time. Long time ago, when I was 16 years old, and I was living in a punk house. there was a wonderful, very gay roommate of mine named Sierra. And for some reason, he was a linguistics major, and for some reason, he wanted to focus on Hungarian. Hungarian was the language that he wanted to learn, and he had this tendency to run through the house. And every time he got really drunk, it was a terrible house. It was a punk flop house. He'd run through the house screaming, "Je ne mania, je ne mania," and he'd start dancing around to the music, to the punk music. And he always had wine, too. He's a very interesting, weird guy. And finally, one day, he'd always run up to me, and he's like, "Je ne mania, je ne mania," and he'd slap my face, and he'd like, kiss me on the forehead, and he'd run away. And I was 16, he was in his 20s, so he was very appropriate with me. He wasn't being weird. But finally, I was like, "Sierra, what the fuck does je ne mania mean?" He was like, "It means wife me. I want you to wife me. Wife, not you. You are 16. You are too young. But wife me, je ne mania." And he'd keep running around. It was adorable. I don't know why I was telling that story. I don't know.
Driver. Is that why Mediterranean people were able to get more use out of the resveratrol? Because alcohol's right there driving it and getting it deeper into the system. And without that alcohol, you're going to need a formulation like this in order to get it in there. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's correct. And the Mediterranean diet.
Is anybody convinced that old dude actually knows what the fuck David Avocado Wolfe just told him? Is anybody convinced? Because it doesn't actually look like it. No, I'm not. No, I'm just no. Okay.
And the fact that polyphenols and the resveratrol that are contained in wine make them much more soluble and therefore easy to absorb. However, the amount of red wine that you would have to drink to get the amount of resveratrol that you have in one of these bars is about 20 bottles. You're not going to be drinking that many bottles of red wine on a daily basis.
So instead, you can get all your super chemicals from your wine by eating the sacred chocolate from Gollum and AIDS Bill Clinton. Does that mean? I don't care. Anyway, so last but not least, yeah, that's Dr. Moby, but we're not going to watch any more Dr. Moby. We're done with Dr. Moby. Biotech Babe sent me this video. This is going to be the last little bit of the roundup. Right quick. Okay, no, I'm caught up. Okay, I'm totally caught up. We're good. We're good to go. Drink 20 bottles a day and prove them wrong. I don't know, man. Alcohol is not very slimming. That's like my big. That's the thing that ultimately, because I have a really high metabolism. That was ultimately the thing that laid me low from being like a skinny emo kid to being like this magnificent fat gutter punk that I am now. It was the booze.
If somebody has a terminal cancer and they're urine vaccinating once a day, they will live on. Wow, they will live.
I'm going to need to hear that again. I want to know, this is from Chodmunch, Insane Claims by Guru David Wolfe. I'm going to need to hear that again real quick, though. Let's try that one more time.
If somebody has a terminal cancer and they're urine vaccinating once a day, they will live on.
Urine vaccinating. If they have terminal cancer and they do urinal vaccinating, I don't know what that is either. They will live on. Okay. I'm going to need some shrimp for this.
Wow. They will live on. You don't have to do medical supervision.
Okay.
What we do is we teach people how to do it so they can do it at home. What you're doing is you're taking all of those antigens, right, or it's antigens, I think, is the response to the antibodies that come out in your urine. And
right.
Then as soon as
you think you're sitting here in a studio with the dude being interviewed, and you decided you're going to start telling people about how they should do something with their wee-wee, and that's going to solve their cancer, and you think that's what it is? No. If you are going to stand in front of a camera with a goddamn microphone and you're going to make a claim that you understand the best way to help people with cancer, you better fucking know. Not think, you frizzy-haired fucking idiot. You better fucking know. Look at this fucking dumbass. What the sh...
You inject that back into you, especially in your...
You want people to inject their piss back into their...
In your fat tissue. It has to go into your fat tissue. You're like in your butt. What happens is your body goes, oh, that's what we're dealing with. It's a tightens
Wait
the
a minute.
feedback loop.
You want people to inject their own piss into their butt? What is this? Am I misinterpreting this? Am I crazy, guys? Because, like, I'm trying to be fair. I was trying to be fair. But, like, am I misinterpreting that he is trying to say that in order to save yourself from terminal cancer, you need to inject your own piss into your butt? Not like piss in your own butt. You can't, like, just, like, run the hose around the sack into the tailpipe and just, like, pee in there. You can't do that. That's not going to work. But, like, to pee into a syringe and literally shoot it into the tissue of your butt cheek. I have the weirdest job in the world. Okay, let's go.
By the way, the most powerful vaccine of all.
I'm the wealthiest hippie on earth. I probably am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about... Okay. I forgot. Okay. Injecting your own piss into the tissue of your ass is the most powerful vaccine on...
But I made more money than most anybody's made in their life. Chocolate lines up planetarily with the sun. Chocolate is an octave of sun energy. It's the energy of the center of the sun. It's a male energy that comes down off the sun, and it actually, out of all the plants, the cacao is right on line target of the center of the sun, which we call, in our body, the heart.
Okay, you know what? Chod Munch, whoever you are out there, 44,000 subscribers. Dude, rock on, and thank you for this video, because this is wonderful. This is great. This is amazing. I'm into this. This is like doing half the work for me, so.
And actually, cacao's right up with the center of the sun, which is the center of the heart, which is called the sacred heart. In terms of planetary alchemy, what you want to use to balance off the cacao, because it's an alchemical process, you need something that's coming up with the earth force, or we call it the ormus. An energy that...
No, we don't have an earth force, we have a space force. Come on, get on my level, scrub.
Moves out of the earth towards the sun. That's ormus. If you've become loaded with ormus, all the cosmic energies come right into you, because it wants to mate with you. Mushroom spores have been found at every altitude of the earth, because they can levitate off the planet, because they're surrounded by a shell of ormus, which actually is trying to get to the center of the sun. Occasionally, it gets slingshotted right off the center of the sun and gets propelled out into the atmosphere, into the solar system, and then eventually gets slingshotted out across the galaxy.
Now, here's the worst. Okay, here's the worst part, and we're almost done. We're at the final stretch here. The worst part about this is like, okay, one more glance. Look at this right here. There are all these people. There are all these fucking people here, and they're listening to this fucking dude. They're listening to him. They're a lot of the times when he goes and he talks somewhere, these people paid a fuck ton of money, and I mean a fuck ton of money, just to be able to be in this guy's fucking presence and have him babble off this random stupid shit. None of this makes any sense. None of this has any logic behind it whatsoever. But he says things that are exciting and interesting, and people who are, I don't know, recreationally eat paint chips tend to think that it's interesting and maybe very wise. So the most disastrous thing about this, and it's the truth about all of these fucks, all of these people, all these fucking wingnuts that I make these goddamn videos about and these streams about every month, over and over. The problem is not that they exist. The problem is not that they are out there in the world, because people who are crazy add a certain type of color to our existence. It's true. the people out there who say or believe and engage in the most inane or wild or silly parts of existence. They add color to our lives. They add color to the menagerie of the human existence, and they in some ways should be celebrated because of that, but isolated away from allowing them to cause actual physical harm from other people as well. Allow them their freedom of expression, of course. Appreciate them for the wingnutty things that they do, but also we need to be aware, and we need to be educated. We need to be taught skepticism. We need to be taught rational thinking. We need to be taught the nature of being objective and analytical, so that hopefully we can insulate things from happening, like all these fucking people standing around listening to this motherfucker talking about how chocolate is the octave of the sun. No, it's not. No, it's not. It never has been. That's not a thing. That's not a thing, and it's not real. None of it's real. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all dumb, and it's all stupid. So the mission that we all have to carry with us day in and day out, every day of our lives, being rational people, being diligent and analytical and stern-minded and wanting to find out whether or not the answers that we're giving are valid, rather than just simply seeking out answers. Make sure those answers are good. That is the true sacrifice of somebody who wants to be a net benefit for their species. And it's tiresome and it's exhausting. But in the end, it's the right thing to do. And if you happen to get a chance and you get to do this kind of thing with a bunch of your friends, and you get to do so with a bunch of wine and a cup full of shrimp cocktail, then actually it ends up not being that bad. In fact, it ends up being a little bit of a sport, a little bit of a fun little gaff, a little bit of a fancy little evening that you do maybe once a month, and you have a good time. And you make that connection between you and me at the behest of all these dumb shits that we watch. Every month I do these Wingnut Roundups, and every month I feel a little bit closer to you. Ooh. Every little bit, I enjoy the pageantry and the production of it, and I have a lot of fun. As my channel continues, the more that I evolve with the channel as well. And like I said before, please, by all means, if you are on Twitch and you have an Amazon or a Twitch membership, go follow my page on Twitch, because if you don't got anything else going on in the morning, you might see me having coffee, researching things, hanging out with you, recording stuff. Just stop by and hang out, because I do it almost every fucking day. If you find crazy things out there in the world, things that you think are not being addressed, things that you think are disastrous and terrible, and I have the platform that maybe can possibly bring a little bit more light to it and can help tear some of this shit down, get a hold of me, find me, contact me. That's what I want. That's the whole purpose of me doing this shit anymore anyway. And somehow, together, maybe we can do a little bit of good in the world. That would be nice. And if we can't, we'll just laugh at dumb shit. Yeah? Sounds good to me. I think I'm all caught up otherwise on the Streamlabs, the Super Chats, all sort of that sort of stuff. Check out my Twitch. Check out the YouTube Saints. Check out all my links, all that crazy stuff. If you have art, send me art. It'd be great. I love you guys. I love you. You're amazing. And I have had a hell of a good time, like I always do. I'll see you again next month. Probably at the end of the month for another Wingnut Roundup. And we'll have a good time. At least I think we will. Maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe it'll be terrible. I don't know. Who knows? Who gives a shit? It's fine. Goodbye. Good night. Good night. I'm out. Bye. Why isn't that playing? You fuck. See, I had everything like timed up super perfectly. And like that was where it was going to end. And I fucked it up. Bye.
And you won't stop, and you don't stop, and you won't. I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in accent sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but front for me to start something. Bugging and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party. 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 Hugs from the honeys, pounds from the roughnecks. See my man say that I knew from the projects. Said he had beef, asked me if I had my piece. Short dude, 222s in my shoes. Holla if you need me, love, I'm in the house. Roman Strom, see what the honeys is about. Moet poppin', hope poppin', ain't no stoppin'. Big Papa, I'm a bad boy. Niggas wanna front, who got your back? Niggas wanna flex, who got the gap? It ain't hard to tell, I'm the East Coast overdoser. Nigga, you're scared, just a poster. Nigga, I toast you. Put fear in your heart. Fuck up the party before it even starts. Is he drunk? Over Henny and skunk? Or some brand Nubian shit beating down? Bitches in the back looking righteous. In the tight dress, I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Once in rotation, my man Big Jock got the Glock in his waist and was smoking, drinking, got the hooker thinking. If money smell bad, then